Anthony co-host Anthony CUMIA fired by SiriusXM.
Pulling the plug on Anthony CUMIA.
Anthony has been fired
After he posted a bunch of tweets.
Outrageous comments. Anthony CUMIA fired
For his seemingly hate-filled remarks on Twitter.
I wanted to make a point, and boy, did I ever.
We are a country of free speech. You're allowed to say hateful and unpopular things. Everything that he said on the radio show.
I go off on tears like this. Yeah. I curse. I say horrific things about people that piss me off.
His choice, his words, his experience.
This is exactly who I am.
Can a company fire someone for being a jerk?
It sounds to me like SiriusXM has become the man.
I will never apologize for this. Why am I going to apologize and say I'm different or I've changed or this? I haven't.
I can't think of anything smarter for you to do, Anthony, than to do a completely uncensored show.
I think you're right. Yeah. You just got to go to anthonycumia.com.
Hi, look at that. And we're here. Anthony CUMIA Show. Thank
Is that so? Who made you pope in his dump, huh?
Oh, I see. Keith has found the sound effect machine that was stolen from K-Rock. That was the one from K-Rock, right? I think it was. Thank you, Keith, for that one. Who made you pope of this dump? Rodney Dangerfield from Caddyshack. Colin Quinn joins us today in my bar. And Colin, I apologize for the fruit flies. It's just like, you tended bar, right?
I did. I was behind the stick for a few years.
Behind the stick. Yeah, pulling some beers.
I was a top mixologist, as the guy from Bar Rescue calls the guys.
Mixologist.
This is one of the top mixologists in the Dallas area.
What kind of bar was it? Was it just a old
Everywhere.
Man bar? Or?
Oh, no, I worked a lot of bars. I worked, the St. Mark's Bar and Grill was the hippest bar I worked. Where there would literally be, I would go to the bar. Thank God I drank in those days, or I would have had a breakdown.
Yeah, I can't imagine that.
I'd come in, we'd open up, me and the Rastafarian would open up. My manager was a Rastafarian. St. Mark's Bar and Grill. This is 1981, 82. Then we opened the bar. A couple of junkies come in. Somebody ODs in the bathroom. Or just, throwing them always out all the time. Remember in Mean Streets when we catch the
yeah.
Only we weren't so mean. We're just like, come on, man, don't do that. And they go, I'm not doing anything. And then they leave. Then the Hell's Angels would come in.
Oh, that's a good clientele to have in a bar.
Have a beer. You're sitting there the whole time. Then they would leave. Then the neighborhood Puerto Rican guys would come in. So they just miss each other.
So they'd have like shifts.
They'd
all come in. Did they know not to come in at another time because there would be a problem?
I don't know, but it felt like it did.
It wasn't organized, but in that cosmic way, it was organized.
Yeah. And then you get like all the NYU, like the wild NYU. You had to be a real wild NYU student to go to First Avenue in those days. You had to be like a kind of crazy, like they were the adventurous kids that didn't want to be in college. They're going to experience New York.
Right. Yeah.
And they'd come in with the neighborhood Puerto Rican kids, and it would just, there'd be like fights all the time, and just a lot of drama in that bar.
Yeah,
and I was
sounds
making shit money. That was my most fun job because I was kind of wild myself then. It was on the same block as Zeppelin album, and then
it was the Zeppelin one with the all the doors and the. That's, dude, do you know what that is, man?
And then I bartended at a nice bar called Knickers. I bartended at a nice bar.
Oh, Knickers.
Knickers.
All right, let's make sure we got that right. I don't want
that was on 2nd Avenue and 49th.
Any problems.
Then I worked at U.S. Steakhouse, which is a nice afternoon bar. Then I worked at a mob bar in Brooklyn.
Oh, okay.
It was like a mob. It was a fancy restaurant that was owned by a certain prominent family was behind it.
Okay. But a lot of what was it like Vesuvio's and The Sopranos?
It was a little more, I guess, but it was more like, like you just knew even when I worked there, I was like, oh, I get it. This is this kind of bar. So you'd go in there and I got in for my aunt knew one of the owners or something. So I got, you couldn't just get in there.
And now we'll give him a job, but we may need a favor sometime in the future from you. Would your aunt have to fucking whack somebody out to get you the gig?
No, she was like a nurse, but she was just connected. She would
okay.
And then, so it was a mob place. So I walk in, and they're like, looking at you like, oh, it's Irish to begin with. But they figure bartender Irish.
Right, of course. It makes perfect sense.
All the waiters are like the ne'er-do-wells in the family, like either the nerd or the screw-up from one of the mob families. So you have these kids that are like...
Fredo?
Fredos, all right. A lot of Fredos. And then a couple of hot girls that are probably banging the manager and the owner. And then, I knew it was a mob place because at the beginning you'd be like, say, that guy, get him a drink. Yeah, who's that? It's Joe's cousin. So you didn't ask who's Joe.
Who's Joe?
You know
Right.
Joe is.
You got him a drink.
Like, hey, how you doing? It's like you never ask for money. If somebody offered to pay, you take the money. If somebody didn't offer to pay, you didn't take money.
You didn't take money anyway. Like he could say get him a drink, and no money crosses the bar, and it's fine.
That's right. And some of those guys were the best tippers, and some of them were the worst. Wouldn't tip at all.
Yeah.
And just to miss it out, somebody's just a miserable looking at you. Know what I mean?
Right.
And some of them were like, hey, trying to be friendly and.
You didn't want to ask for the money because you get the pulls down the tie and cracks the bottle over your head.
Seven fucking big ones.
Yeah, 7 big ones here.
I don't even be out of line, but Joe's cousin.
Joe's cousin has really chalked up quite the bill here.
Yeah, and then and what happened was I had the job, and my big moment was one day they were filming Staying Alive at the time.
Ooh.
So Stallone came in one day with whoever he was with, the producer, whatever. And I'm sitting there watching them, and I remember Stallone was like the height of Stallone being so big. I think it was Staying Alive.
Staying Alive was the
Travolta
sequel to Saturday Night Fever, where he was on Broadway or something.
Directed by Stallone.
Stallone.
I think that was it. It must have been it.
And he gave his brother a lot of music in that movie too.
Right.
Yeah. Frank Stallone.
Yes.
This is a fucking benchmark.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then and I remember there was this like hot girl there trying to like she put her ass and she amazing ass. She put it right next to Stallone's face. He's talking to his friend like this, and they're sitting at this table. I'm bartending. I'm watching this girl was like just ridiculous, hot, and just basically sticking her ass like this far from his face. And I was like, oh my God, when he sees that, he's gonna. And he goes like this, like just disgusted.
Oh, he was disgusted that a girl's ass was right.
And this girl's the other guy with him goes to her like, move away, honey. And I was just thinking, must be nice.
That's a testament to how much pussy he was getting at the time. When you just you're annoying me with your hot 10 ass.
Killer. And I was just like, must be nice. He's like, look, this is not, I'm fucking discussing. Meanwhile, the ironic part is I'm discussing a shot sequence in one of the shittiest movies ever made.
Of course.
Yeah.
This
girl had more artistic integrity in that ass than the whole fucking movie.
Than the movie itself, sure.
Yeah. I think it was Staying Alive. And but then what happened was, I'll tell you exactly how I got fired. Not fired.
Ooh.
I left.
Fired from a bar gig is kind of rough.
I've gotten fired. Well, anyway, my bar gig didn't pay $3 million a year. So it wasn't that bad. But anyway.
All right. So be it.
So be it.
So be it.
So I like that. I like that Roman soldier attitude.
It's like, yeah.
So be it.
So be it.
SPQR. I always wonder what that's from,
How come more guineas especially don't have that tattoo?
You're right.
What, I would think, after seeing Gladiator and seeing that on there, you would think, so many Italians would have that. The Legion fucking.
Yeah.
It might be it might have turned into some kind of Nazi thing. I'm not sure. Maybe that's the problem.
Maybe that's what happened.
Like how they ruined the swastika. It was supposed to be a symbol of peace and Buddhism
for
or something.
1,000 years.
And then, it's going to be hard to bring that one back.
Yeah,
no matter what direction the fucking edges are pointing.
100 years before that comes. But then, so I'm bartending.
Yeah, you're bartending.
And then
we're digressing like Lady Di over here with our stories. So there I was. I think I was mixing a Harvey Wallbanger for this gentleman that always came in. I don't know where he lived. It was close enough to the bar because his wife used to come to try to find. Shut up.
And Harvey Wallbanger's not a bad drink,
Oh, of course.
It's orange juice. Galliano. I always like Galliano. I told Marion she doesn't like Galliano, but I enjoy it.
I know a guy named Harvey. Great. Good story.
No. Marion's like, well, Lady Di, I mean, you probably drank half the bottle yourself. Oh, don't say that.
No, don't say it wasn't half the bottle. It wasn't. She's got to just testify to everybody that it wasn't half the bottle. They're fucking classic.
Yeah, they are.
Anyway, so you're working there. How do you get
I'm
far?
working. So far I'm working there. It's not a bad little gig, I mean, as bartending jobs go, it's in Brooklyn. Take the bus down. It's not bad, and I can tell it's one of those places I have to.
Where was it? Third, fifth?
I wouldn't have the nerve. Third Avenue.
Third. And
I have to mind my P's and Q's. I can tell. I know by the vibe. You can't. There's no screwing around in this bar.
Okay, yeah. Not fun.
You know what I mean? Came in dressed nice every night. And then one night we go drinking afterwards. So there's one waiter who's just nobody liked him, dickhead, but he's just one of these kids, just a real, asshole, like a real svachim. This fucking
svachim,
a real fucking chicharron. This fucking kid. So we're all out drinking, and me and him, I was an asshole myself. So we get into like a drunken brawl outside. I just remember us fighting on this car, me and this kid, and we're just like grabbing each other against this car, punching, and everybody's on 3rd Avenue. It happened 10 times a night, I'm sure.
Of course.
And everybody breaks us up. And then the next day, I wake up with a vicious hangover, and the other bartender calls me. He goes, "Don't come back in." And I said, because I remembered, of course, the kid. I'd forgotten the fight the next day, but I was like, I had a fight with that kid. And I was like, of course. He was the number one cousin or nephew. He was the ultimate ne'er-do-well of all of them. So, he was directly related.
Right, so you had to go.
So I just was like, why take a chance?
Colin's gone. Colin's gone.
They
There's
probably
nothing
would have
we
been
could do
fine
about it.
They probably would have been fine with it, but if he had made an issue out of it, I'm sure something would have happened.
What if you would have gotten to them first and explained what happened instead of waking up hungover at probably 2 p.m. and...
What do you mean gotten to them
Like
first?
if you get to the owners first and go, hey, I had a little thing with the cousin there and...
Yeah, but they didn't really know me. There was a lot of employees there, so they didn't really know me well enough where if I'd gone there, they would have just said, thanks for showing up so we don't have to come looking for you.
Right.
Yeah, there were too many people there. I wasn't like some popular. There was like 8 bars. It was like a whole place with like almost like a half a catering hall, really. Yeah. So there's like a lot of bartenders. Yeah, no, the owners, I saw them come in sometimes, just give a sneer over to my section.
Yeah.
And just walk by.
Oh, you were so gone.
Yeah, they would have given me a nice beating. They wouldn't have killed me for it, but I mean, I'm sure they would have gave me a nice thumping. But, or at least either way, it was just not worth the chance.
Yeah. And
it was a good job.
Bartending gigs, though, probably easier to get. When you get fired from the bartending gig, you probably go, I'll probably get another one.
You know what? It's funny you say that because what I would do is I would get bartending gigs. Here's what I would do. I'd walk up and down all over Manhattan. This is like late 70s, early 80s. I'd walk up and down,
swinging a paint can and eating pizza.
All up and down, dressed in a nice outfit.
Sure.
1st Avenue, 2nd Avenue, 3rd Avenue. I'd walk 50, 60 blocks and stop in every bar.
Wow.
And say, hi, I'm looking for a bartending job. Is the manager? And in the daytime, a lot of times, the manager's there. Because the bartender's like, there's no jobs. I'm going to get their friend in.
Of course.
So I'd walk in and just loudly say it, and I'd always get jobs.
Wow.
Eventually. I'd have to go like
Dedicated.
60. Yeah, because I love bartending. Because I love drinking so much.
Was that it?
I would drink and just smoke cigarettes behind the bar. In those days, you could smoke, drink, and just... It was like you're getting paid to be at a party.
And you don't miss that at all?
Well, I mean, of course I miss it to a little bit of an extent, but not at this point. It's been so long,
Were you very dangerous drinking? Were you self-destructive like so many of the comics that we know?
Yes, I was. I'm actually writing. It's funny, but I'm writing about it right now but I used to get locked up a lot. I used to get a lot of. I used to wake up. I mean, in downtown Manhattan, the bullpen. I'd wake up in the bullpen,
If you just know that it's called the bullpen, there's a problem.
Yeah. You wake up,
I'm here
I'd be
again.
there. No white guy. There would always be one other white guy, a passed out punk rocker, couldn't even talk to him.
Yeah.
But the Puerto Ricans would kind of talk to you a little bit in the bullpens, like, hey, man,
Were they cool to you?
Puerto Ricans.
Yeah.
A couple of them were okay. Now, in general, you just kept your mouth shut. Nobody wants to start trouble.
Right there, you're trying to
Particularly
get out.
because they're all trying to get right. They got to go see a judge, so you're actually in a better shape. But you're there for like 3 days.
And it was a different time. Do you notice a different time? Like, you think it was less of a problem back then?
No.
Because
racially
racially, yeah.
In prisons and shit? No.
Yeah. No?
I don't think so. I think it was just as bad. I think it was bad from the 60s
All
on.
right.
Yeah.
So
I don't know. I mean, I wasn't. But I mean,
wake up in the
but the guys
bullpen.
that told me, they said it was just as bad.
Wow.
I think it was probably worse then. But I mean, but you wake up. That's where the famous story happened to me. One time I got locked up, and I had forgotten that I was in a blackout. So I told the cops, John Doe, my name. I wouldn't give him my name. Smacking the shit. What's your name? John Doe. Smack the shit. What's it?
Oh, boom, bang.
Right. And I'm like, John Doe. So they lock you up. Finally, they put John Doe and put you in jail anyway. Because I had it in my head like they can't
do it. Yeah.
I had whatever strategy I had, right?
All your legal knowledge.
Right.
Yeah, John Doe, they have to let you go.
So finally, after a couple of days, I'm sitting in there. And you want to get out in 3 days or they transfer you to Rikers.
Oh, you don't want to go there.
So I'm sitting there and finally, John Doe. Holy crap, I'm in the back of the bullpen. It's one of these long, there was the normal wide, and those are the long ones. When the back, so I'm in the back, tiptoeing over.
Excuse me, pardon
all this,
me.
Yes, tiptoeing pistol, and this one black dude looks at me and goes, "John Doe, yo man, where you from? Main Street, Anytown, USA."
He's a comic. That man was Eddie Murphy.
How funny is that he knew the reference?
That is pretty
Main
good
Street,
that he
That was in
knew.
the days of Google. This was like before.
Right.
Main Street, Anytown, USA. And like two guys laughed. Nobody else got it.
Reader's
except me.
Digest readers,
I thought it was
would gather.
hilarious. Yes. And I get arrested in Quorum. You know, I woke up in Quorum, and then they were in jail. I had to go to hot pog court, and
And were these usually for fights or drunken
fights
disorderly?
or drunk and disorderly.
Wow.
You know, it was usually for fights, and you'd just be in the middle of something, and then they'd be willing to let everybody go their way except for the loudest mouths.
Oh, okay.
Which
Right,
I always
right.
had to interject my 2 cents.
We don't need your... Okay, he
We
goes...
got arrested in Quorum, and once again, this was it when I went to Stony Brook University. So of course we were going to a nice night. I'm surprised my friends even talked to me. But they all hated me eventually because we're going to a nice night through some dorms, whatever. Hey, I can break the window without cutting my wrist, cutting my fist.
There you
Boom,
go.
break the window, falls down. So security happens to be outside. They come running after me and my friend Chris, who I grew up with. He turns around, drops one.
Holy shit.
Dropped him.
You're a hood.
It was no, he did.
Oh, okay.
No, I was
Well,
the
you were
worst.
there.
He dropped him. So then they grab us, handcuff us, punched him, which when he's already handcuffed, which was a low move. Still
a
remember it
bad
all
move.
these years later.
Right.
So we get arrested. All 6 of our friends are locked up like this. They bring us down to whatever the local court in Setauket, Stony Brook, whatever. And then we're all handcuffed. And my one friend, Skinny, Patty, he's a guy from Rockaway, so sarcastic. And his cop who looked just like Dennis Franz. Gets in his face and goes, I'll beat the shit out of you. You say one more thing. You say another word. And he's like this. And my friend goes like this. Nice stash. And turns around and looks at me.
Oh, no. Stand him up. Thought I told all you guinea punks to get...
But the other cops, the only thing that saved him from beating was the other cops started crying so hard.
They were laughing at
That guy. So that's the only thing that saved him. Because he's handcuffed.
shit.
The guy's this far from his face.
What a
He really
set of
threatened him with
balls.
violence. He goes, nice stash. And just turns around and looks at me. We all start crying. And but then once again, they release everybody except me.
Of course.
Because I'm up there, the fucking problem is.
Mouthing off.
Yeah, of course. And my fascination with that. I'm like, here's the problem. Everybody on this side of fucking Nichols Road is a fucking snob, and the other side, Old Country Road, I'm just like analyzing Suffolk County.
You're doing the touche for him back in the day.
I'm doing Rocky Point versus fucking like just every community. I was so obsessed with Suffolk County.
Right.
And I'm like, yeah, here's the problem. You got a poor Jeff. They're fucking not gonna serve you. You fucking asshole.
But you're a hop, skip, and a jump to Quorum, and there's a fucking...
Yeah, you guys go to fucking Center Reach, cocksucker. You go to a bar, just trying to
about
profiling.
Riverhead. Let me tell you about Riverhead.
Profiling all the cops. Like,
Yeah, all the
you
cops
fucking
in the
probably
various
you don't go to fucking Setauket. You're a fucking dick. And this guy's a loudmouth.
Why don't you fucking patrol Deer Park,
Right.
Long Island?
And they throw me out. Yeah.
I think there was a poll on one of the websites today. How many Long Island towns will be mentioned when Colin is in on Anthony's show?
Oh.
So whoever had that was a big...
We already started. Yeah,
That
we
was a
already
big
got a
run
few
right
right there.
there.
That was a
Yeah,
good
that
run.
was quite a few
They're probably
right
like, yeah, come on, keep going.
Yeah, come on, I'm almost there. I got the over.
Yeah. Well, even pulling into Mineola today was the first time I ever in Mineola.
Oh, the
we were
train
little
station,
kids.
right.
My father would force us basically to watch all those James Cagney, Humphrey Bogart movies so we could see good movies. And Roaring Twenties was one movie that we watched. And in Roaring Twenties, he takes a girl on a train back in the 1930s. This movie was made to Mineola, and he called it Mineola throughout the whole movie.
Mineola.
It was like the country.
That was the country.
Yeah.
In the fucking 30s, like the whole... I think once you left Manhattan Island, it was the country.
Yes.
No matter where you went, no matter which direction you fucking went off into.
Yeah.
But especially Long Island was... and I hate to say it, but I am old enough to remember when a lot of Suffolk County especially was very rural.
Right.
Farmland
Yeah.
and such. And then we were like, I hope Suffolk never becomes like Nassau, because Nassau was like more like the in-between city and stuff. And now they're both fucking just, industrial parks and
It's
strip
unbelievable.
malls.
But the fascinating thing, I love doing comedy, as you probably
Certainly,
know.
Carl.
I love doing comedy in Suffolk County. I love doing comedy in Long Island.
Yeah.
Because when I grew up, all the people that I recognize, all the language, the whole culture of Brooklyn, Queens is part of in Long Island. The only place it's left is Long Island. Like if you go to New York City and you look for a New York accent, you won't hear one.
You're right.
It's all European, or it's Midwestern people, or it's people from other parts of the country. Nobody speaks like this. The only places they talk like that is either Suffolk County or Florida, like
the guys that left.
West Palm Beach.
Yeah.
You go to West Palm Beach, everybody's from New York.
But Queens, you don't hear that because it's all Asian
It's
now.
all foreign, right?
Indian. And then Brooklyn,
is
what do you got?
Hipsters
and
Russians.
and thugs.
And not even thugs. No,
I know the thugs
barely.
have had to leave now. The hipsters are totally chasing them out.
Hipsters,
I've never seen black people so fearful of any people aside the hipsters. They are afraid of hipsters. They come in and literally knock them right out of their towns.
Well, I'll tell you exactly. I have a whole, I'm doing a whole show on ethnicity and a book on ethnicity.
A book on it. A book.
So this is the right place for me to christen it.
Yes.
Because ethnicity is a subject that is near and dear to your heart too.
That is why I am here.
And it's
sequestered.
It's a forbidden topic in many ways.
It is.
And yet there's 160 languages spoken in Queens, and yet we're supposed to, as I always say, celebrate diversity, but don't point out people are different,
Right.
And so so this whole book I'm working on, this whole next show is about ethnicity, but I got a whole thing on the hipsters and black and hipsters.
That's a ballsy move for you.
Well, I mean, it's...
But I've seen your comedy, and I've seen the Unconstitutional, and it's fantastic. And you're a very smart guy. I mean, people have told you that for years, regardless.
Oh, yeah. Regardless.
It's very funny to be able to take content like the Constitution and people's rights and America and make it funny is not an easy thing to do. We've watched teachers struggle with that over the years. And
yes.
They fail miserably.
Yes.
But to do that, so to take on race, what do you have to do to keep from pulling that terminal offensive thing that gets you in trouble when you're doing a
Well,
racial?
I mean, look, it's the kind. Here's what I'm resolved to this. Whatever this show is, if people want to be offended by it, they're gonna. There's no way I can make this so that if people want to take any soundbite or whatever.
Exactly.
They want to do whatever they want, they can.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm resigned to that fact.
Right.
That we live in a culture where whatever's going to happen is going to happen. So there's no way I could say, hey, you know what? Maybe if I say this first.
Right, I'll tame it down or something. It doesn't work that way.
It's not funny.
No.
And it's not I'm giving my total, what I believe is funny, what I believe is based on truth that makes it funny.
Right.
And so if it backfires, it backfires. What are you going to do? You know what I mean? But there's no way to avoid that kind of stuff.
Unfortunately, it's like, all right, you have to go to the show or you have to seek it out to be offended by it. But that isn't the case these days.
That's right.
People love seeking things out and finding things that they were never interested in. People that didn't go to the show might read a soundbite or see a clip or something like that.
That's right.
And then all of a sudden they love it. They're like, oh, finally, I found something today that offends me.
Yes.
Let me now put it out there and get this person in trouble.
Yes.
It's our climate now that
No,
we're in.
it really is. It's
bunch of little rats. Fucking rats.
It is rats, and it is an interesting thing that people feel like whatever it validates in people or whatever it's exciting when somebody gets in trouble.
Oh,
I mean,
people
somebody,
love it.
a little kid in class, oh, and it's like, so there's something about it that's titillating to people.
Exactly.
And
right.
Schadenfreude and all that stuff, and also just the idea of like the vindication, like I'm a good person because I don't say that kind of thing. And it's very sickening to us, and it's also, like you say, technology has made it where it's got a wildfire effect.
Yes.
Where suddenly
very
just
quickly
scorch them, like what happened to you?
Yep.
And it's like, and instead of saying, look, these are interesting things to discuss, it's like, no.
Silence them. I want them silenced.
Silence them because that's that's the fix. And
I think there are a lot of people that aren't capable of holding a discussion or a debate about issues that are sensitive. So instead of losing the argument, they would rather say a name, racist, white supremacist, whatever they want to put, sexist, misogynistic, homophobic, and just get rid of you. And that way they're like, I won, without having to say a word, because I don't think a lot of these people have a valid debate
Yes, and some of these are the most educated people around, by the way. Yeah, and they don't. But it's not even a question of look. I'm not even saying whether they should win or lose. The point is to even want to discuss anything other than what's prescribed, correct, for lack of a better word.
Right, yeah.
The correct line is like, if you vary from that, people look at it like you're obviously woefully misinformed and you're coming from a place that doesn't exist. We'd like to just move that along. It's a different world. People don't speak like that. And it's
It
like,
really is head in the sand.
it's something about it that's very,
kind of a thing, because
it's very phony.
It does exist. People do have these ideologies. Damn fruit flies buzzing around my fucking head. I have a bar, so it's flies.
Well, he's at a bar. Let me just explain something to you people.
Yeah.
Speaking, since we're going to do my whole book is about ethnic behavior. So I've got like
Certainly.
everybody's ethnic behaviors, and it's not the cliche ones. So hopefully, if people do find it racist, they'll be like, he's got a new angle on all races.
It's a whole new twist.
But one of the things, which I'm going to have to take out of the book now, is like certain host personalities, Latin, Italian, where they try to be friendly. Then I come to this supposedly Latin son of a bitch's show. I mean, Italian, but, Mediterranean. Do you notice he went behind the bar, pours himself a nice Guinness, starts the show.
I didn't give you. Yeah, I know. I assumed.
What the fuck?
That, I am a one-way motherfucker.
You cock.
I think I did the
Rude.
same thing with Sean Bergen. Didn't I give you a Diet Coke?
When I came in the house, you did. Son of a bitch, you didn't give it to me. Keith gave it to me. You're a no good son of a bitch.
I am a one-way.
I would have felt anybody, even a non-host personality, would have felt awkward, like, holy shit, I feel.
It's almost like a prop though now. It's like, hey, it's Anthony's Guinness. And like, I should say, you know something, Keith?
You're lucky it's a Guinness, and I kind of like the prop, because or else I would have been really pissed. Although I think Guinness should be drank not cold, warm.
Hey,
I used to drink it warm.
Go to Europe.
I used to drink it warm. And at first I was like, fuck that. I like cold beer when I used to drink. But then I drank Guinness warm, and I really grew to like it.
Is it?
What you drink is a black and tan.
Right. A black and tan.
Well, what you don't know, black and tan is the most despised people in the history of Ireland.
Oh, really?
They were the fucking British troops who'd come in black and tan outfits and kill all the fucking Irish.
Oh, so they called what? So why would they make a drink the black?
I don't understand why but maybe it's like a gallows humor.
It's one of those gallows humor, a way to remember, never forget.
Yes,
through
I guess
drinking.
so.
As you're forgetting through drinking, never forget. It's almost this weird.
It's very meta, yes.
Going on, very meta.
But back to the racial thing.
Yes.
So So the whole thing is, you have all these weird lists, and I'm hoping. I mean, my dream with the show, with the book, they were like sort of in conjunction, would be that people have to go, oh, well, this guy knows what he's talking about, so we have to have that conversation. But meanwhile, that's just a pipe dream, as you know.
Yes.
To have a racial conversation is one thing is forbidden in this country.
You know what people say,
forbidden.
especially a lot of liberals and progressives, as they call themselves,
Yes.
weirdly enough. Hey, we really need an open dialogue on race in this country. We need a discussion about it. And the last thing they want is an open discussion.
Right.
They want to knock around the same shit they've been saying for years without any introduction of maybe a new
angle,
a new angle on these problems,
right?
A new solution.
Oh yes.
But no, it's they'll talk about the open, honest discussion, but they do not want it.
No,
And the second you do start having it, you racist, the scarlet R on your fucking chest.
You said it a year ago. That scarlet R. I loved it.
Yeah, and that's exactly what it is.
I know. Yeah, but I mean. But that's just how it is now. It's always, you could argue that people wanting to have an open, people have a saying they want an open, honest conversation about anything is usually a lie.
Right, usually they have a very passionate...
Most people say, we want an open, honest conversation, and if somebody gets really real, they're like, that's enough of that.
Yeah.
With anything, but definitely with race today, of course. Of course.
So the book is also going to have, it's not just on the basic, hey, let's talk about black
thank you so much.
There you go, Carl. Look, a nice icy Diet Coke for you. It's going to have all races represented pretty much.
Yeah,
but without the stereotypical.
Well, no, it's got all stereotypes, what I believe.
Of course.
But they're sort of like not ones people are used to probably. Or maybe it's just maybe I just think that way because of my ego. But it's funny because, I work it out a lot of times on stage. And it's so funny because people get like that. You know what I mean? Like people get very quiet at first.
Yeah,
When you bring it out, when you bring up certain
They
things.
get very nervous when race is brought up. The audience is like, I don't know. You start looking around going, if I laugh at this, is there a black person?
You could do a show with the rowdiest audience, and they're talking and they're drinking. And if you say, any racial thing, black, boom's quiet.
now they're going.
And they're quiet, but they're not into it. They're quiet like this. And here's the sad part about humanity. You could do a show with a crowd and they're talking, and you could be doing the most, complex humor, fucking doing all this stuff. The crowd's a little drunk, but they're still listening. But jokes, fucking crafted humor. And if you go pussy or cock, the whole crowd's like this. Now we got a show on.
Here we go.
Now we have a show.
He's
The
gonna do some
reverence
funny.
to fucking pussy, cock, tits. It's infuriating.
Why is that? Are we
The
just
opening can
this-
do it for 15. Crowd
Right,
laughs.
right.
The middle does it for 20. Crowd laughs. And then the headliner goes on and they want more. And it infuriates me like nothing
I
else.
don't doubt it. You're well thought out, well read. You're crafting your material. Why is this? Can you just attribute it to people are stupid?
I mean, I guess. I attribute it to drinking too. I feel like when people are drunk, they get a little naughty. They're out for a crazy night.
Naughty. Look out.
They're like, whoa, I want to hear some sex jokes. But it's like, I think I attribute it to drinking.
Okay.
I think when people get a little tipsy, they're having a crazy night out and they're like, oh, honey, we really
Cock.
are.
You like cock, right, honey? Yeah, remember you?
It's like, yeah. It's like, I guess. But it's like, it is interesting.
Yeah.
I feel like if Lenny Bruce was alive today, he'd go, look, whatever I wrote, I take it back. I believe in censorship. I believe in no profanity.
Enough.
If I thought it was going to come to this level of the barrage, the relentlessness, I think Lenny Bruce would be horrified by what he's created.
Yeah.
It's like Albert Einstein when he created the atom bomb or whatever.
Right, he had to write something, and what did he write? Like an apology letter to the world or something?
Did he?
Hey,
Lenny
there was
Bruce should have to write one too.
Yeah.
By the way, didn't Hedy Lamarr have something to do with either the atom bomb or the internet? This beautiful movies.
Headley. It's Blazing Saddles. Come on.
I know, of course.
Of course.
But
Hedy Lamarr had something to do with
Hedy Lamarr,
the
you can
Manhattan
Google
Project.
it. Yes. Well, she invented like the internet. She's like
Something like that.
She was a genius.
Hedy Lamarr was the skater, right?
No, she was this beautiful movie star.
Right. Oh, no, I was thinking of the other one. Hedy Lamarr was the actress.
Yes.
And then there was the swimmer.
Heidi, right.
And then there was the skater. But they were all like Busby Berkeley type of
Right.
musical
But Hedy
numbers.
Lamarr was a hot movie star. She was actually topless. People used to be able to make topless movies in the 30s.
Which is the oddest thing.
And then one day they just clamped down. I forget what it was called, but
people got a little.
Yeah, but they actually showed tits in the movies in 1935 or 33.
Really?
Yeah.
I guess they figured if we're not going to, give you booze. When was that? When was the booze?
No, it was in the 30s. Yeah,
it was in the 30s, 20s.
No, there was no reason for it except that they were then they came up with this
rating
whatever
system.
commission. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then they stopped for like, but isn't that funny? They actually had but anyway, she invented something that it was like internet, but she also broke the code. She helped us beat the Nazi.
I
swear
need
to
to
God.
know this now.
Let's Google it. So have your research staff Google it.
Google Hedy Lamarr and the atomic bomb.
Google Hedy Lamarr, internet, atomic bomb, and broke the code. She literally helped us beat the Nazis.
Like the fucking.
Like she's one of the main
Enigma,
reasons.
She broke the Enigma code or something.
Something like that, yes.
She went on the submarine and stole it. And
Where do you see
I
this?
don't know.
It's the most insane thing you ever saw.
I didn't know this.
And she was already like a movie star, but I guess she was a genius.
Yeah.
You
Wow.
know?
Well, good for her.
She was a genius, and she was a movie star.
I didn't know that. There were a lot of those people though back then. A lot of the stars that actually did things like that went off to war. Jimmy Stewart and Clark Gable.
Yeah,
or
but they
something.
went
really
all wild.
go?
They got in a fucking plane and they sat there and took a few pictures and back to the
I
garden.
thought they really went in and dropped some bombs. Or
No, I
something.
feel like
dropping bombs.
Dropping bombs,
Yeah.
okay? Dropping bombs. No, I don't think that's true.
Yeah.
Well, the most disappointing, of course, was John Wayne. The fact that
John
he didn't
Wayne, the
fight.
Duke, but he
That
had
was
his
a
own
pro-
problems. Didn't he have back problems or
Oh,
something?
big
I don't
fucking
know.
deal. He's 6'4". I wish
Yeah,
I
yeah. Get in there.
We should all have his back problems. He's on a horse for 30 years after that. Could have been that much fucking back problems.
It's true.
Hey, I got back problems. You see him riding them fucking 8 movies in a row. the workout's like that cocksucker. He lied to us. Hey, guys.
But they at least, even if Clark Gable just got in the plane and stuck his head out the window and kind of looked around, it was at least something. Like now, could you imagine any actor from Hollywood joining the military in any sense and then going and taking photos in a helicopter? Not just the USO stuff. I mean, actually being in theater and doing
Well,
stuff.
yeah. I mean, Jane Fonda did that picture on top of the tank.
Well,
with a
Jane
machine gun.
Fonda was behind some artillery and
with a machine
she
gun.
did- okay, so good for you, Jane. Boy, that still haunts her.
So you say, wow. I mean,
That's a
look.
bad one.
She could have easily gone on a fucking couple of protest marches in Washington.
Right.
But she's like, I go to the next level. I'm
I go
Jane
right
Fonda.
there.
I'm going to North Korea.
I'm going to North Vietnam, Hanoi. Yeah.
Goes to Hanoi, takes a picture.
On an anti-aircraft gun that absolutely shot down American airmen.
Oh my God.
And she's sitting on it. Is that like, let's say, fucking some actress right now? Who?
Right.
Fucking, just name one. Anyone.
Scarlett Johansson.
Scarlett Johansson is
Who,
with.
by the way, is beautiful.
She is very attractive, Colin. No argument here.
I love when people say that.
Wouldn't kick her out of bed.
They go, Scarlett Johansson, who I think is just beautiful. Like, shut the fuck up. Why do you think she stars in all these movies, you
Right.
cocksucker?
She's
Because everybody
beautiful.
says she's beautiful. Hey, I think De Niro is one of the best actors of our...
Hey, De Niro, right? Am I right?
Whoa.
Goodfellas, Raging Bull. And then just name, 2 or so movies.
Like nobody's ever heard of. I loved him.
Right.
I loved him when he was in Taxi Driver. Oh, that was you that discovered him.
Wow, that was good. Now, let's say Scarlett Johansson,
Okay.
who's beautiful, by the way.
Oh.
She was with ISIS, just holding up a severed head of an American. Would 30 years later she be forgiven or be able to do any movies?
Only if it was an Islamic caliphate.
Oh, okay, true.
If we turned into that, they'd be like, you know what? Give her a break.
What's your whole take on the Middle East, the situation in Gaza, let's say, with the Jews and the friggin' Hamas going at it? Because a lot of Hollywood people, and I know you're one of them.
Oh,
you're
yes.
in Amy Schumer's
Yes.
movie that's going to
That's
come
right.
out. They're siding a lot of these people with Hamas.
Yeah. I don't
Which
know
is-
what... I don't understand.
Isn't that against the go with the Jews rule if you're in movies?
Yes, but I feel like half the Jews are like self-hating Israel. Because here's why. I think that it's all symbolic versus facts.
Mm-hmm.
So the symbolism is, oh, you're the
Oppressive.
white oppressor against the brown people that are. So I feel like it's a symbolic thing, and I also feel it's like it's like anybody that's America's ally is also, you know what I mean?
A piece of shit.
And it's not like neither of us is acting like, America has never done any exploitation. We don't act like it's Mr. Innocent,
Right.
But don't act like these other places are all filled with these
They're
innocent,
wonderful.
pure people, and we're just
Yeah.
destroying it. You know what I mean?
I've
Takes two to tango.
Yes. I've noticed a lot of social media propaganda.
Yes.
That's been making the rounds and being presented as fact. Now, this is something obviously was used very well in World War II. Propaganda, especially by the Germans.
Yes.
Now with social media.
They used it pre-World War II, actually.
Well before World War II. That's how
It
they
helped
started.
start World War II.
That's how they started.
During
the
World War
whole
II, I
ball.
felt like they had their hands full. Suddenly they're like, holy shit. I mean, it was probably titillating, but they're like,
Right.
fucking get fucking 12-year-old boys, teach them how to use a gun. Everybody get fucking speed. Fucking every day they're eating speed. Like fucking 14-year-old kids are fucking shooting it out in France. Fucking Allied troops. Fucking Russia.
Fucking crazy.
It was crazy.
They got their
Ass kicked.
We are saying
They
World
started
War
and
II.
everyone's like, okay, let's go. They're like, holy shit.
You heard it here first, folks. We said World War II was crazy. It's just crazy.
That's right. It was as crazy as Scarlett Johansson is attractive.
Right. Yes. The
World War II, propaganda.
Yeah.
Now, with social media, I've noticed a lot of these groups that you would normally think as not civilized, not technologically advanced, like ISIS and Muslim groups in the Middle East, are using this social media to spread their propaganda. I'm seeing pictures of young Palestinian children with guns to their head. And it's supposedly Israeli troops that are doing this to young children. And it's obviously not.
It's photoshopped.
It's photoshopped. It's staged. But they are really doing well with this form of propaganda. It's interesting to see it make a comeback like this in social media, because it's right on Facebook and Twitter, which we always think of as American things. We think, well, it's Twitter. How could that be on there? Twitter's American.
Right.
It's international. It's worldwide.
Yeah.
But they are using this, and people are getting pissed and sending it as fact.
They're actually using to get suicide bombers. They've now stolen the hashtag YOLO. It's very big.
YOLO.
Anyway, when they say YOLO, they mean YOLO.
It's a good one for the suicide bomber. Or, a funny hat at the beach for some girl to be wearing. I don't know.
Either way. But yeah, they...
I know.
Hey, I don't know. But either way, it is interesting how like you was talking about ISIS. I was just hearing this morning that ISIS blew out Al-Qaeda because they're getting the young people because of social media.
Right. Social fucking media.
Al-Qaeda's still like, let's all gather together in a fucking cave. And everyone's like, what? How are we going to all get together? You got like 50 guys.
Yeah.
ISIS was probably started as a flash mob in Islamabad.
And now, in like just after 9/11, everybody was involved in cell phones and trying to find out the chatter that was going over the airwaves and everything. And now it seems very easy to anonymously contact people, make plans just through Twitter and Facebook in what looks like innocent enough posts, perhaps. It doesn't seem to me that it's out of the question to code things and communicate like that. So I think we're in a bigger. I think there's a bigger threat now than there was even pre 9/11 as far as planning goes.
I think I saw one the other day. It said, "Are you tired of people sticking their big noses in where they don't belong?"
I get it.
Hashtag Gaza.
Little winky eye. What kind of with ISIS emojis would be nice, with the little turban and the bomb belt and thumbs up kind of a thing. I like a good emoji. Would you like another Diet Coke, waiter?
Oh, thank you so much.
Coffee.
Thank you, my friend. But it is really, where is it? It's scary when you go, where is this world going to go?
Right, where is it headed?
That people have access to say, look, let's all do this together. I mean, entire ISIS started, that's how they got big.
Yes, through social media. And I know it's been discussed before by a lot of people. Now they got a deal. We literally have the world at our fingertips now as far as information goes with just your phone. Anything you need to know is pretty much right there.
Yeah, you can kill people with your phone.
You could kill people. You have just nations full of libraries at your access and stuff. Yes. And I don't think we ever saw that coming when we thought about the future when I was growing up. It was always it wasn't information that we wanted. It was things. It was the flying car. It was spaceships, moon bases, Mars bases. We never thought that information would, and the ability to transfer it so quickly from one person to another would be what the future held for us. And because we never really thought about that, I think it took us by surprise. And we're using it in not the most creative of fashion. We're ratting each other out in record numbers.
Right.
The second something happens in the street, a fight, a cop is in trouble, someone else is in trouble, the first thing people do is hold that phone up and get it, because I could get a fucking video out of this instead of actually helping or using the phone to maybe call somebody that could help. We're in a weird place. We're our own worst enemy as far as ratting each other out and being that big brother kind of thing that we thought would be the government. It turned out to be ourselves. Yeah.
And not to mention, we've been masturbating at alarming rates since the invention of YouPorn or YouTube, whatever.
Who saw that coming as a kid too? Because just getting your hands on some whacking material was very difficult as a child.
It takes away the imagination too.
Yeah.
Because you can actually see things instead of having to imagine it.
There was a time, let me tell some of the kids out there what used to go on. There was a time you had to shut your eyes. And imagine in the mind's eye.
Envision, yes.
Envision it. In the mind's eye, a nude woman's body and the interaction that you would use to fantasize while you jacked off. It wasn't just pulling up a video of some of the most heinous pornography you could possibly imagine.
Yeah.
We actually had to think about a girl. What the fuck? Is it better or worse that way, Colin?
And it would be a shame if this committee, it was, oh my God, it was much better because now, I mean, obviously,
But in hindsight, you could say it's better. But at the time, if someone handed you a device that you could watch real movies of real hardcore sex.
Oh,
it
yeah.
would
No, I mean, it was
be the greatest.
I mean, it's better in terms of whacking off. I'm saying it's not better in terms of relationships with other human beings. Because I remember, that feeling when you're with another person getting close and you're like, it was about body heat. It was about so many other things. Not this. Now you almost want, could you move back so I can get, you know what I mean?
Yeah, so I could get the whole picture here.
Yes, it was about.
First.
It was close, and now it's
you were
weird.
You were flying on the trapeze without a net back then. It was your one chance. You were on live TV. You had a girl in front of you that you were trying to impress. You had to talk to her, and if she didn't like what you were saying, there's your chance. You fucking blew it.
Right.
Now, through text and Facebook and Twitter, you could feel things out. You could get a little offensive and then pull back with an LOL.
That's correct.
Or you could go full bore and just send a cock pic.
Right.
And you can't just pull your dick out in a bar and say, hey, check this out. You could, but it probably wouldn't work. Yeah. So that interaction, I think you're right. That interaction is gone. Even on the level of just going outside and interacting with neighbors or kids riding bikes in a group together or something. You just don't see that sort of interaction anymore.
No, you're right.
What
I was
do you
just
think?
laughing because I was thinking of this girl one time going, screaming because my friend said, hey, do you want, we were like 15, 16. She goes, he just asked me if I want to do 69. It was just so funny.
What a
69.
funny thing to ask.
Do you want to go do 69? Yeah, but in the 70s, 69 was like the thing.
Oh, that was
that was like
hardcore.
69. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that was, once again, that shows how nice the 70s were.
Right.
It was a mutual communal act, 69.
Look at that. You're both helping each other out.
And I knew this Puerto Rican girl I used to work with in the Bronx when I worked in the Bronx. And she goes, Colin, you know what's a 71? I go, what? She goes, a 69 with your finger up each other's ass. I was like, I love her.
71. It works out mathematically, too. It's fantastic.
But yeah, I do feel like, I never feel, like you said, I feel like in some ways people are more intelligent because of having to write and having to think and having to interact but all that spontaneous humanity, and like you said,
yes,
you failed immediately.
That's
no
it.
LOL,
Done.
no chance to make it up. Like that, I guess it's better for people with real social anxiety, but in a way, it does feel like everybody's kind of removed in some weird way.
Yeah, it's very hard to tell, though, if it would have been a good thing growing up. Like, you could look at people that are in their 20s right now and even late teens or something, meeting girls, meeting guys, whatever they're doing online, on their phones, and think like, all right, how is that going to affect them in future relationships that they have when they get older? And I'm trying to think, if we had that type of technology to not have to be face-to-face with a girl, and you could be more daring and outspoken, things that you're not when you're in person. You might be socially awkward. I don't know of any kid that wasn't socially awkward growing up, but that kind of takes that out of the mix, which might be a better thing.
Right.
Or not. I don't know. What the fuck?
I don't know, but it's just like anything else. It's like, and we talk about, what about these kids? Are they going to be better? And it's like, the divorce rates are already 80% from our generation. The Nazis existed in the 1940s when the only music was good classical music. So it's hard to tell. It seems like humanity's just shit. Humanity's been shit since the beginning.
It's consistent shit no matter what comes in.
And technology just brings out more shit. So ISIS is going to use technology to fucking go one step further. And the atom bomb gets it back. It's like there's never been a time where people are particularly, I mean, there's always a few good people. But like I was thinking about this one. What about this theory? Since you like this, technologies.
No.
Here you have all these, talk about the human factor. You have all these cops all these years, that learn the human behavior, right? They all learn human behavior, and they investigate these cases, and they're streetwise, and they deal with people. They know all the signs of lying, all this stuff to try to capture criminals. And some nerd who's the most probably on social worker invents DNA and solves hundreds more cases than all of them put together. You know what I mean?
Right.
Some nerd is the biggest crime fighter in history because he
figured out the DNA. And meanwhile, these guys had to go through an entire career of reading people.
Right.
You know, and it was only the old guy that really knew how to do it. Right. Like a Jedi.
And they were like, he's got type O blood. Well, doesn't everybody? Yeah. But anyway, it narrows it down. Half the people have type O blood and the other half have B.
A nerd.
And some nerd came in and became the greatest crime fighter in history.
You know, speaking of cops too, in Ferguson, watching the coverage down in Ferguson, you got what's his name, Michael Brown.
Right.
He was shot. I think everybody knows. I don't have to reiterate. But the cops are down there and they're trying to keep order. And then you got the side of the protesters, demonstrators, vandals, looters, whatever you want to call them, saying that the reason that they're so angry is because of the police presence and the militarization, they're called, the militarization of the police department. Now, I remember the old patrolman. He had the hat, and it was like, to show the rookies, stuff like that on TV, and policewoman and thing. And if they had a situation at hand, they just pulled out their nightstick, and they were still cops,
Yeah.
And they'd wrap someone in the head.
Oh, yeah.
Do that. Now, it really does look like the military is rolling in with the equipment and uniforms and what they have. And it can be argued that that's for their protection and the protection of the people.
Yeah.
They have better equipment.
Sure.
Or it could be argued that this is now a paramilitary group more so than the police ever was. And there's a problem there. What's your usually unique take on this, Carl?
Well, I mean, here's the thing. Either way, they'd be screwed. If the cops didn't come in with a big presence and the riots and they burned down the whole town, everybody'd be like, where were the cops? Where were the cops?
Yeah.
They let this happen because it's easy in this country to criticize the system because the system doesn't hit back. So everybody's like, yeah, these cops are paramilitary. And of course, you have to watch. Look, nobody's saying that you don't have to watch cops in places where cops have too much power. They abuse it.
Of course.
So, but I'm saying, but it's still, nobody. This is like an unsolvable thing. This is one of the things that nobody will ever solve this.
Yeah.
Because, like you said, nobody can really sit down and have these discussions. So you can't really, once you can't discuss things, but I will say one thing. If you have a town that's like 80% black and 50 of the 53 cops are white, don't be shocked that this shit happened. I mean, who didn't see this one? Who didn't see this one coming?
Right.
Jesus.
But then again, you can look and say, like, are they denying black applicants to the police department?
I'm not talking about what led to it.
Why?
I'm just saying, if you didn't see this one coming.
Right, okay, here's the situation.
And the other thing is and the other thing is, my theory is this: the town used to be white, so you got white cops, and then suddenly it turns black, and now everybody's white cops. Now that's not exactly what happened. You need all cops should be interracial from now on.
Really?
In every town. This way, whatever way the town goes. It's like, look at his DNA. He's mixed.
He's mixed. Good.
All cops should be, all cops should be mixed. That's the new rule. Then nobody can complain.
When they talk about the lack of diversity in a police force, though, I would really like to know if there's been an issue with them denying black applicants to the force when they say that there aren't enough blacks. Because
you will never know that.
Well, we probably should.
You will never know that. That's just the kind of research that will never be done.
No one wants to really put
That's
out
correct.
there.
It'll never be done in the United States.
Right.
Never.
Because if no one is stopping black applicants, then they just need to apply more and want to be police officers.
Right. A lot of them don't want to be cops.
A lot of them don't want to be cops. So to blame the department itself for its lack of diversity is very silly.
Oh yeah, it's silly. It's silly to blame it, of course. But I mean, And
then the as far as the militarization and equipment goes, we can look back at what happened in like the what was that, the Democratic Convention 68, where I mean just unheard of beatings by police.
Oh yeah, all nightclubs.
Just friggin' all nightclubs, right?
All just angry, fat, Irish mustachioed. They're fucking.
Yes.
Their sons were in Vietnam.
Yep. Fighting the
Daley
good
just
fight.
said, "Listen, boys, go out there and take care of this business for me right now." These fucking hippie bastards coming from Wisconsin.
Yeah,
I want them
yeah.
down there. Oh yeah.
Yeah, that
He
was-
He let slip the dogs of war on that one, didn't he?
Now, those police departments back in the 60s when these riots
Yes.
were happening, they were not militarized. They were your guys. They had the helmet with the little shield.
Right.
That's about it. They took off the little pointy hat and put on that helmet and went to town. And did a lot more physical damage to people than any of these militarized people are
That's
doing
correct.
with their tactics in Ferguson.
Yes.
People aren't being, they're being hurt, but by each other. Apparently there was a shooting
right.
or a
No,
couple
yeah.
of shootings last night, but it was other people from Ferguson
yes.
shooting other people. If you look at the injuries from police during these riots,
Yes.
they're not bad.
No, not at all.
But they're looking,
Relatively.
going, oh, there's tear gas, my eyes are tear. It's like,
Because,
do you take the guy that was in the paper with his head split open in the 60s, looking at that going, oh, you crying, your eyes burn a little bit? So,
No.
I mean, you can't really say that with this equipment and militarization comes the violence.
Well, you're 100% right. It slows down violence.
Right.
It's more this. First of all, it's really an objection to fashion, is what it comes down to.
That's objecting to
We
the
don't
fashion.
like those helmets. They remind us of futuristic and
Stormtroopers. It's like Darth
It's a
Vader.
feng shui thing. But it's also because this country has, and this goes for the left and the libertarians the most. They are so intrigued and titillated by the idea of living in a police state because we don't.
Yes.
So they're like, oh my God, good. This is an
could
example of that
happen.
police state. I knew I was fighting
It
against.
gives me a purpose in life.
And
right.
they get titillated by it. They get
Yes.
excited by the idea that we live in a police state.
And you could
All
see the way
libertarians
it's
are all-
reported,
yeah.
the way CNN,
Oh, yeah.
MSNBC, and even Fox
Yes.
reports it
Yes.
because they want it to look that way. They want the viewers to go, oh my God, because they kept saying, it's like, can you believe this is happening on the street of a town in America? And it's like, what? The police are keeping people from breaking into stores and fucking robbing things, a mob of people. So, of course, you need numbers.
Yes.
And then the greatest thing I heard last night, after about 1 a.m., it started winding down. And they were like, why are there still hundreds of police officers in the street? There's not a protester to be found here. It's like, that's why. That's why there's not a protester to be found.
Unbelievable.
They can't put 2 and 2 together.
Well, it's all part of this. Goes back to my whole thing about the Constitution show, by the way.
Yes,
Which,
I
as you
love it.
know, I've
The touche.
almost moved on, but
I
it's
know.
still alive. But is that we live in a country. The whole point of the Constitution too is like we're anti-authority.
Yes.
And so anytime it's authority, people not only get titillated by the idea of a police state, but they're also like, we go against,
Yes.
you know what I mean?
Instantly.
Yes.
You think
And it's like-
that's got to go.
Yeah, and once again,
Yeah.
of course you have to
Yeah.
regulate. You don't want one of these South American countries where, the police do whatever they want all the time and
Right.
they're wearing those scary sunglasses.
Yeah.
And they're just looking, and anytime
Yeah,
you
yeah.
protest, you're looking, and there's like the leader and like 3 guys just looking at you, those fucking Ray-Bans. And you're
Those,
like, oh.
those. Whenever
not
you see
Ray-Bans,
those
they're-
uniforms in like the Bahamas type uniform with
Right.
the black cop, and he's got that red
Right.
and black hat, and then like he's a general or something on his
Yes.
shoulders. I always look like, oh, you don't want that guy sitting across from you in the station house.
Or like,
oh, you don't want.
Or like
that.
in the 70s, you used to watch all those movies like Missing and like Salvador, and it's always the guy
Yes.
with the aviators, and it was like the Argentina. They had those countries where it was like
Oh,
scary.
That one, the Midnight Express,
Oh.
in Turkish
Yeah.
Turkish prison.
So I mean, we understand. We understand why people have to always be cautious.
Right.
But let's put it this way: would you want to be a cop in today's society? Every time you go, excuse me, sir, you stop shooting that. Everybody's got the 8 cameras on you.
Everyone.
And they're in your face.
Yeah.
And it's just no other job do people want you to not do the job and do the job at the same time.
Yes.
You know what I mean? It's one of those jobs where people don't want you to do the job, really.
Yep.
They only want you to do it in this weird way,
We do.
It's unrealistic.
We do complain a lot as a people about the police. But
Yes.
I think we do give them certain liberties because of the job they have to do.
Yeah.
And sometimes we do look the other way because we know it's probably better that way for me and my house and my lawn and my neighbors.
Well, yes, exactly. I mean,
Yeah.
that really, you could
As
say
long as
this
they're
whole
not
thing.
knocking your door down, right?
As long as you could say this fight in Ferguson even and the anti-police thing is really a proxy war. The police represent the white people that people can't get to, so they're just going after the police. I mean, that's really usually when these things happen.
Right,
I'm like, I want somebody in power to stand up and go, this is not about the police shooting, is it? There's something else here.
There's something
and
else
everybody
going on.
Everybody has to go, all right, well, yeah, you white. Because there's a racial thing
There is.
underneath. Forget the situation, Michael
Right.
Brown, the cop. There's a racial thing that goes on under all this stuff. That's why they say nobody cares about the Chicago shootings, but they get mad when it's
Right.
who did the shooting.
It's
So I'm
who
saying
did the shooting. They
I
don't-
know,
they
but I'm saying
care
it's
so much about
But
the
that's what I'm saying. It's a racial.
It's a racial thing.
It's sort of symbolic. The whole thing is just like. This is a fight that started 225 years ago. whatever.
When you hear that a black guy was shot, the first thing is like, all right, is it a cop?
Right.
All right, it's a cop. All right. The next question,
Right.
is he a white guy or is he a black guy? And then
Sure.
somehow, if it's a black cop,
Right.
doesn't it take some of the heat and anger off of it?
Absolutely.
Doesn't it?
Absolutely.
So it's based on nothing but skin color.
I wouldn't say nothing, but I would say that it's based on skin color. You know what I mean? I would say
think
that
a
this is
huge part of it is skin color.
I think. Oh yeah.
Because
No, I'd say the
depending
main.
on- like you mentioned,
the
the
main
Chicago-
part is skin color.
The Chicago shootings, every weekend you could see black on black killings
Right.
going on. Death,
Yeah,
black
yeah, yeah.
kid dead.
Oh, yeah.
And there's not this outpouring of
No.
sympathy
There's-
for the dead guy
No.
because who did it? Oh,
Right.
he's another black guy.
Right.
If it's a white guy and then a white guy in a position of authority, wow, now you won the lotto.
Right. Well, that's right. I mean, it's definitely mostly it's a proxy war, racial
Yeah,
war,
yeah.
and it's also any poor community. Nobody wants. Everybody's going to hate whoever enforces the law because they're like, I don't believe in these laws because I don't feel like it works for me. So even in Northern Ireland, they hate the cops. The Catholics hate the cops.
yeah, yeah,
So I'm saying, in certain things. But yeah, mostly racial, of course. It's an undiscussed
Yeah.
racial situation that nobody really wants to discuss.
No one wants to
They
discuss
just want
it
to say,
in
"Oh,
reality.
let's deal with the actual case and get that cop indicted, and that'll solve this." And it's like, okay, yeah. Until next time, you want to make this guy the scapegoat.
And then I love seeing the mentality of criminality and the excuses for it that comes out. When we found out that this guy had stolen some cigars, regardless
Right.
of what it was like, oh, that's no big deal. What's that? Like excusing
Right.
the crime itself, even though it wasn't a big thing.
Right.
It's still a thing. How is
It was
that
petty larceny.
accepted? It's like, oh, he was just stealing some stuff.
Well, I mean, it is a small thing, except the way he did it was so
It was
thuggish,
menacing.
intimidating. Yeah, so
Right.
it's like But of course, I mean, but like I said, this is all the conversation that when we're dealing with the detail of the case.
Yeah.
it's still nobody's talking about what this. Nobody's getting up and go, okay, this is not just about this case. You know what I mean?
I was watching the coverage last night on all the news networks, just
Flicking back, and
flicking
forth.
around, seeing how
Giving
they covered
yourself
it.
a stroke.
Yeah, it's just
When you go to the
astounding.
doctor.
Yeah.
When you're like 62 and he goes, I don't know, you're thin, you seem like you're in good shape, but what the hell happened? I was watching Ferguson for 6 months. I
Yeah.
was flicking through this.
Got myself that MSNBC to Fox. It was
Yes.
too big a swing each way. My body couldn't handle the shit. Chris O'Donnell is out there.
Who's that?
He's one of the news guys out there, I think. Who's that real womanly looking man guy on MSNBC? It's not Chris O'Donnell. It's the other guy. He looks kind of like that chick that looks like a dude, but he's the dude that looks like
leave the
a
Irish
chick.
guy alone, Chris O'Donnell.
Whatever. But it's
I think
not
Chris O'Donnell was Superman.
It was is that it?
I thought it
was he Chris Matthews and then some O'Donnell? Anyway, one of the MSNBC guys was standing there, and he's being his liberal self and discussing what's going on in Ferguson. And they had him in an area behind some chain link fence, and some black people were walking by and just started chucking rocks at him. And he's going, hey. And then a big black guy came out like in front of him. I guess they got all their black bodyguards with them.
Right.
These little waif-like white reporters have got the big black bodyguards because they're in a dangerous area. So they just wouldn't stop, and they're like, tell the truth. Why don't you tell the truth? And they're just throwing rocks. He goes, we're trying. And then they stopped throwing rocks, and he did like what the wimpy kid did after the bully punched him, try to talk like, hey, so how's your parents or something. He started this thing like, so what happened down there? To the guys that were throwing rocks at him. Like, yeah, and then he just goes, people are very frustrated here, very frustrated. Just excusing them throwing rocks at him.
Hilarious.
It was great. There's been such amazing footage come out of here.
Really?
And he was the little skinny white guy being harassed by the big black guys, had his big black friend come out to protect him. It was a microcosm of what is happening. Just fantastic. But some of that coverage is amazing. I think, weren't we supposed to be healing as a nation? Wasn't the election of Barack Obama supposed to heal the nation's divide on racial and social and economic levels?
Well,
what happened? What happened?
But I mean, this really kills me. Since I've been a little kid, it's been like it is now. Everybody acts like there's these times when it's changed, but it's really, like I said, it's one of these things that has never been resolved. It's unresolved on like deep psychological levels. Forget about anything that goes on economically. This is like a real conversation. Maybe it's going to be a war, but it's either way until it's discussed. It's just, I don't know why there's no honest conversations allowed on these kinds of subjects, but it's just the way it is.
I know you talk about the past and how it was always like this, but I mean, I don't think at the Ford plant in 1960, if someone said, hey, get that tool off of that spade over there and have him bring it to me. Like, he wasn't getting fired. He wasn't getting reprimanded. The supervisor probably laughed. I mean, in that respect, things have changed, but
that was much worse.
That was supposed to make things better, wasn't it? Wasn't taking that language and that attitude out of the workplace and out of society, which is what people want. But it's an inconceivable dream.
No, yeah, you're speaking to preaching to the choir on this one, of course. When I was a kid, we made ethnic slurs and insults to people, and it was much less tense in a certain way.
That was supposed
to mean
to be
shit
damaging.
didn't still happen.
Right.
Yeah, there was still a lot of shit that happened. It's not like those were like that. But I'm just saying that, it has not helped to try to, clean up. I mean, it's Orwellian bullshit. Yeah.
Doesn't it make resentment too? I mean, if one group, and I understand that this is how black people feel about white people. If one group is dictating to you what you can and can't do, what you can and can't say, how you can and can't feel, it makes resentment. So now when you swing it around and people are losing their jobs and being reprimanded and losing their reputations because of things they're just saying, that will breed resentment, not only from the person that it happened to, but by people that share the ideology.
Of course, and it also breeds dishonesty and phoniness, which is the worst part.
Which is even worse.
Which really sets up a society that's really fake. If people can't give their honest opinions on things, you're not bringing anything to light.
Yeah.
It's just so, like you say, actions, not words.
The actions seem to take a back seat now to the words.
And if words sometimes are, prelude to actions, that's a different story. But guess what? In the meantime, while they're words, it shouldn't be like that.
Then they're just words.
But it's like this whole, we're having this conversation and it's all for nothing.
Right. It's all for nothing. It really is.
Nothing is going to change as far as society's too far gone into this idea of what's appropriate, that it's just.
But we've gone through a cyclical thing as far as these things, as far as race, I guess living together nicely and living together under stress. And we've kind of gone through that over the years. How do you see this maybe swinging back to where there's not this constant racial fucking tension?
Well, because first of all, there's so much more mixed, multiracial people now that I think it's going to have to be when all the mixed race people and Latinos and Asians take over, and then they'll have to dictate how people talk and how people behave.
To the minority.
The minority, the white and black.
Right.
And no longer, and it'll be just when white and black people are marginalized. That's when
then we'll have to get together and fucking Rocky and Apollo Creed kind of hook up and run on the beach and hug and get after those Latinos and Asians.
Yeah, the Latino, Asians, Indians, and Arabs, when they become the power in the United States.
Right.
And multiracial people.
Yeah.
You know?
I need a 9-volt for my headphones because I want to take a few phone calls too. People love talking to Carl. We might actually get lucky too. Maybe Lady Di will call.
I would like to hear. I feel like we've actually had a very deep conversation, and I feel like what can only add to this.
Oh, of course.
And she is from Jersey City, and she does have opinions on racial stuff.
She does.
I mean, not Jersey City. She's from.
Where is she from?
Elizabeth.
I just go Jersey.
Elizabeth.
That's what I say, Jersey.
Elizabeth.
And then Bobo.
I'm coming to join you, Elizabeth.
And then Bobo called the show yesterday, and he posted a video. I'm not in the studio today. We're out here, but I'll play it at some juncture. You know the ever-popular Ice Bucket Challenge that's going on?
Oh, yes.
Yeah. Well, Bobo did one. And before you do it, you challenge other people to do it.
Oh.
So that's exactly what he did.
Oh.
And apparently, he wants us to do it. He challenged us.
I'm wearing a suit. How am I going to get home?
Exactly. And first of all, I'm wearing an ounce of dignity. So that's why I won't be doing it.
What did he say to you?
He said when he called or during the video.
When he called.
When he called, he said, "Hi, I'm listening to the show. You've done a good job."
Is that how he said it?
Yeah. Hi. I'm watching the show, Anthony. You're doing a great job. This is Bobo. And then he started some conversation with his mother. That I was just trying to go, Bobo. And he talked to his mother, and then I went, all right, Bobo, you done with your mom? And he was gone. So I'm thinking maybe he hung up, his mother hung up on him. But then the next I saw was this video where he poured ice water on his head for, what is it, ALS? ACL?
ALS.
NAACP? Yeah. I don't know. It's for ALS, right? Lou Gehrig disease?
I think so.
And I guess people are dumping water over their head. And that's, I guess, is that the cure? All these years, we didn't know that pouring ice water over your head, we could have had the Iron Horse for a few more years.
By the way, are we getting phone calls? Because I can't hear anything different.
But do you hear do you hear your voice in here?
No.
If you turn it on? Oh, do you hear it? Check.
Better,
there you
better.
go. Okay. Yeah, just your volume.
Yes.
If it peters out, it means the battery's dead, but we'll fix that.
Oh, my God. This is fantastic.
Right. Now it'll work. Now we'll get phone callers. Could you plunk down a phone line, Keith? Hello. Who's this?
This is Blake.
Blake. How you doing?
Doing great.
You're on the phone with me, Anthony, and, of course, Colin Quinn.
I'm a huge Colin Quinn fan.
Who isn't?
For the record.
Of course.
That's right. I'd like to know, your attire, it doesn't quite match up to Colin's, and I was wondering why that is.
Good
Colin
question.
Is a gentleman. I'm guessing he's got somewhere to go after this.
No, I don't. I dress up for the show.
All right. Okay. You know what? You are a smart, well-dressed man.
I'm a well-appointed gentleman.
Well-appointed gentleman, GQ,
I went for the suit because when I watched some of the show, I was like, you know what? I'm going to dress up for the show.
It looks good. Does it look good? He looks good on camera, right? Yeah. I would assume. He doesn't want to answer.
No.
All right, Keith, plunk down another one, please. Hello, who's this?
Yeah, CUMIA.
What's up?
What's up, man?
CUMIA. It's like I'm in fucking school again.
CUMIA.
Hey, CUMIA, I call you out.
Yeah. Yeah, Jesus Christ.
Who's this?
Who's this, Boomer Esiason? Hey, CUMIA.
Boomer. Hey, CUMIA, I heard you call me Norman in the hallway. I'm going to kick your ass.
Norman
Esiason. The Boomer.
Yes, my friend. What can we do for you?
Yeah, just a comment, if I may, sir.
Yeah.
I think it's irrelevant if a person is mixed race or not. All that matters is how that person looks. I think our dear president is a perfect example of that. He's mixed race. He was raised by white grandparents.
Yeah.
But yet everyone says he's black. No one emphasizes the fact that he's mixed race.
Well, that's true too. We do consider Barack Obama our first black president, but
That's true.
He is of mixed race.
He's mixed race.
Yeah.
I talk about that in unconstitutional, not to promote, because there's no way to promote it.
Oh, you're not doing any more shows.
No, I got one more this weekend. That's it. And I'm done.
Well, where?
All right,
Oh, it's
thanks.
sold out, so it doesn't
Thanks.
matter, right?
Yeah, I'm
Thank
sure
you,
it's
sir.
sold out.
It's sold out. Yeah, it did pretty good. I saw when you were just putting it together.
Yes, you saw
over
the
in
earliest days.
in Long Island City, and it's so interesting to watch what works and what doesn't, and how you honed that into the show, because. That to me is petrifying, and I think to a lot of people that don't understand the mindset of a stand-up comic, it comes across as like standing in front of a firing squad. You're putting out your ideas, your thoughts, what you feel is funny, and what you think other people will feel is funny. And then when people don't react to it or laugh, how many people could actually handle that? I don't know how you guys do it, and that might be part of the issue with you fucking comics. You're all psychopaths.
Yeah, I mean, you kind of have to. It's like when people say, "I wouldn't go to comedy." You know, I couldn't stay in comedy because of the rejection and stuff. And it's like, the rejection has to be so much of it. Like you have to.
It's
like
a
you said,
huge part of it, right?
If you're not ready for that, you can't ever. You can only do. Some people can write an hour of jokes and then that's it. You have to be willing to bomb a lot. I feel like I've bombed more than most people in comedy over my career.
Yeah, well, and that's also funny to watch if you're your friend or another comic. It's funny to watch other comics bomb. But to be so, like, comics are known off stage to be very kind of oversensitive, introverted a little bit, and so to be able to take
I'm not like that.
No, you're not. You're an exception
I'm a
to
real
the rule.
outgoing kind of guy.
An exception to the rule, as they say.
Yes.
But you look at situations like, I mean, Robin Williams, he went through, I guess, a lot of bombing early in his career, and then gets this huge career, does very well, and then still offs himself. There seems to be this weird thing with comics where, or is it just a percentage of comics that will do that because it's basically the percentage of people that do it?
Yeah, I feel like it's a percentage.
You think is that it?
Yeah, because like Robin Williams' case, like they say, and he still wasn't happy, but I'm sure he's happy for a lot of those years.
Yeah, you think he had a few laughs hosting.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, he was on the cover of Time Magazine.
Time Magazine
People forget
and
about that.
Comic Relief. He seemed to be having fun.
Yeah, so I mean, it's like...
Even though Billy was next to him. I know he's your friend. Come on. I just can't take that. Can you dig it? I knew that you could. Schoolyawah. Ugh. I just can't. I can't take that. Look at me. I'm imitating a jazz guy.
Abominable.
It's terrible. But, he's a national treasure. And as is Whoopi. The three of them are like the Three Musketeers for Comic Relief. And, but Jimmy did a great little piece on Robin and comics in general and himself. He kind of covered the three of those things and how he's watched a lot of comics die either by health reasons or by their own hands and drugs. And it does seem to be something that does get in there with the comics, and a lot of them are dry.
A lot. Well, like you said, a lot of comics do have problems, definitely depressed. I mean, but I don't know. It's like, it's so hard to know what it is because you get so high from doing comedy. And then... and
you're in a hotel room somewhere.
And you're in a hotel and everybody just wants to keep it going. I always remember that John Belushi, when I read that John Belushi book from like 30 years ago. And he was like yelling to the doctor, I make people happy. Like when the doctor said, you have to stop drugs and drinking.
Oh, yeah.
Because I make so many people happy. I want to be happy when I'm off stage.
Oh, shit. Yeah.
And I was like, yeah. But I mean... But I don't know if there's a higher percentage than anything else. I mean...
maybe it's just the percentage
we
of...
look at the HVAC guys you started with. I'd like to see that percentage. I mean, I'm sure a lot of them have drinking and drug problems.
That's true.
And
the AC guys that I worked with probably... they probably have plenty of them that have off themselves and drinking and drugging.
Yeah.
Maybe it is. It's just out in the public eye more so. Yes, coolant.
An overdose
a little,
of coolant.
Some huffing coolant. People did that.
I mean, people that were working.
I believe it.
Job when it was Freon, when it was
yeah.
Freon. Now it's refrigerant, and it's like some generic thing that's supposed to be good for the atmosphere. No chlorofluorocarbons. Freon. They were just huffing it.
Hilarious.
And you used to be. Now they found out that shit was like literally eating the atmosphere like Pac-Man. And what we used to do, it would just be like, all right, there's Freon in this system. Yeah, just vent it to the atmosphere. Vent to atmosphere.
Vent to
VTA. They used to write it on the people. Freon, VTA. Just Freon going. Now you got to like recover it like it's fucking radiation with a machine that sucks it out and stores it. And then you got to take it somewhere to a reclamation place.
Oh my God.
Just crazy. But we used to just cut the line. There we go. Bring in the new line set. Come on, then we'll all go to the strip club.
That is hilarious.
We go to Bulls down in Smithtown.
Yeah, well, back in those days, too, there weren't that many strip clubs. People don't realize strip clubs are a modern phenomenon in the North.
Yes.
Where back then, I'll tell you exactly what there was. There was the one probably in Smithtown.
Smithtown, Frogs, I think.
The place in Port Washington.
Port Washington.
I forget what it was called.
I forget that place. There was the Brass Monkey out east.
There were like 3 or 4 strip clubs in the whole.
Headquarters. The Carousel on Jericho Turnpike, the Tender Trap.
The Tender Trap.
The Tender Trap was right next to the radiator place. It was like a fucking car radiator joint. And you'd come out and guys would be working. Look at you. Tits. But I was talking to Sean Bergen. He was that news guy that got fired
for I remember.
His little commentary at the end of a story about race. And he was here. He's been here a couple of times so far. And we were talking about strip clubs here on Long Island and how they tried to adopt this Manhattan Gentlemen's Club thing. But all they did was change the lap dance from like $1 to $20.
Yeah.
And turned a coat closet into the back room. So
Right.
I'd go into like the Carousel, and all I want to do is sit there with an overpriced Budweiser and throw dollars at the girl.
Sure.
And drink a beer and have a conversation with some people, whatever. I don't need the Russian girl now that works there. It used to just be some local whore from fucking Comac. Now it's some Russian girl that comes up. You want the dance, honey? You want the dance for the... No, I don't want to pay $20 to sit in a closet with this girl just doing a poor lap dance because she's on Long Island instead of Manhattan.
And 15 of it goes to the organization.
Yes, the goon squad.
Exactly. So 5 of that bucks goes back to buy plutonium rods in fucking St. Petersburg. For the war against the fucking Chechens.
Right, the Ukraine.
Yeah.
War against the Ukrainians. Every dollar you slip down those chicks' pants, at least 80 cents of it is going to kill Ukrainians.
Yes.
Down airplanes.
Yeah.
But those local strip joints had a great feel. It was an American local girl that was in there.
But that's what everything did.
I liked that.
That's what the whole country. I mean, you go to Manhattan now, like I said, not only does nobody have a New York accent, but all it is banks, drugstores, and Starbucks. That's what every corner of this city is: a bank, a drugstore, a Starbucks, and then the other corner is either a bank, a drugstore, or a Starbucks.
You are absolutely right.
So it's fucking finished. When I was growing up, we had like the butcher. You go to the butcher. You go to the fucking fish market. You go to the candies with Danny's Candy Store on the corner. We used to rob. Danny would work there. You didn't rob Danny. He was not playing games. But he had Mary. She was a 98-year-old lady. I think she was from Scotland or something. He was an old Jewish guy. And if somebody get this lady Mary, when the word would go out, Mary's on. Fucking let's get over
How
there.
funny is that? That
Kids
like
with
there was that
fucking
community
8-year-old
where you
kids.
knew
Mary's on. Get
Mary's
over there.
on.
Get in there and get some.
It was an easy fucking take when Mary was on.
Smarties, fucking sugar daddies down my pants. Just rob.
Yeah. There was a German deli, the delicatessen.
German deli, that's
and
right.
it was the German guy, and he made the fucking great sandwiches. And then next door was a stationery store and a candy store.
That's right.
And we'd go in there and steal fucking candy.
Oh my God,
from that place. And sometimes you'd get caught.
Oh yeah.
And you couldn't go back in there for quite a while.
No, exactly.
Yeah, it was.
And
that was your consequence. That was your sentence.
And the German guy had he He had a system down. I mean, and when I tell you this, wow, you can imagine.
They're very good. They're very efficient, let's say, with their system.
Fräulein, may I please have ham and turkey sandwich?
But there was that sense of community.
Yeah, individuality.
Yes, you knew that every store you walked into wasn't just a generic person there. It was like you knew who they were. You knew their personalities.
Their total steak was in their store. I mean, it's still like, there's still places like that. Like I said, in Queens, it's just, we don't know because it's an Indian neighborhood or it's a Chinese or Korean neighborhood.
Kebab joint or something.
But they still have, and they still have their local people. But otherwise, and forget it. It's it's just...
Yeah, no one working in a Starbucks has any interest in the Starbucks.
No, why
they
the
don't
fuck would
really
they?
care.
I wouldn't.
If you're behind the counter, like the guy at the deli making the sandwich, he was the guy that owned the fucking deli.
That's right.
He woke
and if
up
he wasn't,
every morning.
he was the fucking son-in-law.
Right, the son-in-law or someone that was going to get their ass handed to him if they fucked up on that sandwich.
Right. That's right.
We ought to do that now. Where they go into a deli and the second they start making sandwiches, just point your phones and start recording and call them out on fucking it up and record everyone doing their
Hilarious.
job. Whoa, what are you doing there? What? The world is watching. The world is watching. The world is watching.
Hilarious. Hilarious.
Just making a fucking sandwich.
That's one of the... That's really fun. That'd be good for the show. You should do that.
I think I should do that. I might do that for the next show.
Don't do it around here because then it'll be that asshole has
That's
a show.
that guy from the fucking show.
But wait a minute. What you're saying is so true, but it's like, it is true also like that people nobody even thinks in terms of that anymore. Like in terms of, you just automatically think. But it's like the saddest thing is when I go to a supermarket and they have the deli counter at the supermarket.
Oh, yeah.
And it used to be such a personality. And now it's just these guys are like, look, I'm working here. I'm part of this big picture of this supermarket.
Yeah. It's not a separate
Where else
little...
would you get a sandwich? Like, I don't know,
Where do you go? I know. Well, you know what? Long Island's got some delis
Still have
left.
some, yeah. There's some
delis left where you could get... I never understood going to Subway. Like, Subway is like this weird McDonald's version of a hero sandwich.
Yeah.
Why not just go to deli and get a big fat fucking roast beef or something?
But Subway did the thing that you do, which is the smartest move, which is you tell people, even against
Subway
your
was always
obvious
the smart
knowledge,
one.
is that you're going to lose weight. Even against your better judgment. You know it's bullshit.
It's a brilliant marketing
As long as
move,
people
you're right.
tell you that, you're like, fuck it. I'm going to try their way because I want to lose weight and I don't want to give up fucking bread. Fuck it. This guy Jared did it. I'm going to fucking do it too. Even though you know it's not going to work. It goes against all logic and science.
I think that put them over.
Yeah.
I think you're right.
Like, God, that Jared really did it for
That Jared put them over with fat people thinking they could eat at Subway and be...
Yeah, it just gives you...
They're on a
you're
diet.
Like, I could do it, yeah.
I'm dieting. I'm on
You just
Subway.
want to think you're on a diet. Exactly.
Yeah,
People probably said that all over the country.
Oh,
on a
is
diet.
that fucking nuts?
Right? And as long as they just tell you that, this guy did it.
Yeah,
For whatever
yeah.
genetic reason, or he only had one a day. For whatever reason, he did it, so they're not lying to you.
Right.
And then you're like, fuck it. That's right. It's going to work for me too.
Is there something that says they can't lie to you? Or
I'm
could
sure
they
there
just
is.
lie?
Yeah, they can't
You think
just
there's
lie.
some kind of advertising thing where they...
Yeah, I'm sure
just
Jared
fucking-
really did lose the weight on Subway, but he probably ate like a half a sandwich once a day.
Right. They didn't tell you that part.
Or they tell him, look, don't tell us what you're doing. You tell us that you eat in Subway every day. Well, but I'm not. Shut up. Tell us you eat in Subway so we're not legally bound and you'll get paid and we'll get our commercials.
Yeah. Keep your mouth shut.
If we really watch those commercials, I bet they say like, he's probably like, ask Jared. Yes, I enjoy an occasional sandwich at Subway. Once every couple of months,
Yeah.
It's probably really like legal terminology.
I remember, as far as ads go, I remember that whole thing back in the 70s and 80s with subliminal advertising when they said that magazine ads, print ads especially, were putting in sexual content and other things that attracted your eye and
Skulls
brought
and
up
the ice cubes
yes,
and
yes,
drinks.
and the ice cubes. I remember I read, was that a Playboy article? It might have been a Playboy
Might have been.
article.
I did read it for the articles.
Yes, the articles. But yeah, there was ice cubes with things in, and I remember one mac and cheese ad, and it was an orgy going on. Like the little macaronis in there were kind of people
blowing each other.
You could see just blowing, sucking, fucking, eating, drinking, and it was.
And the macaronis were.
The macaronis were fucking apparently, and what that does to you, I don't know. What is it? It spurs your mind to think pleasurable things.
Yes.
When you look at that macaroni
Of
and then you
course.
gotta have it.
Yeah, well, that's why hot dogs never had to do any subliminal advertising. They just put the hot dog out there.
It's just
slice the front like a cockhead.
See, now if you got on stage and did that material, people would fucking love it. People would
They would
love it.
They would love it.
Did you hear Colin's
And I'd
hot
be like,
dog cockpit?
They
Fucking
plump when you
hilarious.
cook them, right, folks?
It's hilarious. Then he said something about the First Amendment. I don't know what that was, but the cock joke.
No, it's so true. I blame it on drinking. I feel like when people drink, their
Yeah,
IQ,
yeah.
when people drink as a crowd, their IQ gets a little lower. That's how I feel.
Yeah. I go through a lot of beer. No, I go, Jesus Christ. You fucking, at least no equipment. You know what? Thank God we're out here at the bar area. Colin, sit down. Carl, you never get. Did Tom Snyder ever have a guest get up and clean up his own spill when Charles Manson spilt
I'll tell you what's
his beverage?
What's so funny about it? I came in here and I go, one thing I never want to do is spill anything on this goddamn Gavone rug they have. I said, because Italians love cream color. If you could see the house.
We do love a good cream rug.
It's why The Sopranos really caught the Italian thing. They love that fucking cream colored shit. So I was like, I don't want to be the guy that ever drops anything on this fucking rug.
Carl,
Anthony's going to go nuts.
I have the rug cleaner guys come in here about once every quarter.
All right.
And they go through it because, believe me, the karaoke stage is over here. The bar is back here.
Oh.
Do you know how many spills happen in between point A and point B? Keith, you could stand up. It's okay.
You guys should do a stand-up show.
Keith the cop.
No, Keith
I was when Dice was here.
Keith can't stand up right now because he's trying to get 3/4. He doesn't want to see his back.
Oh, there you go. All right. 3/4. I love pension reference. The Dice was here, and he sang Elvis karaoke from when the show ended about 6 p.m. until 11 at night. He was here drinking wine.
Wow.
He had his 2 kids here who were up singing, but he does one of the greatest fucking Elvis impersonations.
Yeah, he was a good impersonator.
Oh, my God.
He used to do Jerry Lewis and then Stallone and the other one.
Was that before the Dice, like the Dice character? What was that, Pips in Brooklyn?
Yeah, I never saw him before the
You
Dice
never saw him
character.
before the Dice character?
No.
You never knocked around in some of the same joints? Or was he a little before you?
He started a little before me.
A little before you?
And
that must be nice to say about somebody, huh?
Yeah, I know. It's so rare. It's so rare. But yeah, it is nice.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
But I remember I once came up to Dice when I was just starting. I was very cocky, as you know, by my rewrite
Sure,
to
your rewrite.
Crocodile Dundee 2 and all that.
Who could forget?
I came up to Dice. He was at the fucking height of his fame. And I go, Dice, Colin, Quinn, I work here too at Catch, Rise, and Stall. You know, I was a big fish in a small pond. But,
Sure.
And I go, you should make your character now take it to an ironic place. Like, which, you know, nobody's doing. It's like 1988, whatever.
You were really telling Dice how he should.
If you could have seen his face looking at me, he's selling out fucking Nassau Coliseum. And I go, Dice, what you should do is, I still remember what I told him.
Now do the turn to the baby face turn.
That's exactly.
You asshole.
It's exactly what he's just standing looking at me. He's like, who the fuck is this guy?
Right.
You know, and I'm like, what you do is you go on stage. You go on stage and you're like, a lot of you people think like I'm just this one note kind of guy, but it's more to me. I travel.
And just be a man about town.
And he goes, and then you like pretend you're showing a picture. You're like, here's a picture of me right outside of the pyramids getting my dick sucked.
Oh, okay, so he's still in corporate. Now that's making it ironic.
Like, here's me on a spiritual quest to the South Seas. And if you'll notice in the corner there, right by that temple, that girl sucked my cock later. So it was like this whole thing of him taking it into, and I said,
right.
Meanwhile, he's about to go on stage. He's probably thinking, who's this motherfucking open micer telling me?
Right.
Then I was like, and then I said, you take it. Now you've introduced these subjects. And you take it to this next place of you traveling to these places, and it just opens up a world for you.
Anyone ever been to Machu Picchu? I was in Machu Picchu. We climbed up there, took a look around. Oh, look at this native girl, indigenous to the land. She sucked my cock.
Exactly. Exactly. Exactly.
Right.
And I
Worldly dice.
And I literally said to him, like, I'm from Brooklyn, I understand, but you're going to get a little parochial for people. And he just looked at me like this and just with this hateful look. And
why wouldn't he?
Walked on stage. Because I'll tell you why he wouldn't. Because when you just did that, I was like, yes.
That was your vision.
That was my vision.
Yes.
Machu Picchu. And he could have said Machu Picchu. It almost sounds like
Machu Picchu. I stuck it up on Machu Picchu.
Exactly.
Oh.
Exactly. And he could have opened up a whole world, not only to himself, but to his audience.
To his whole audience.
Yeah.
Teaching through comedy.
Yes.
I kind of like that.
But he just fucking went around on stage and ignored me.
He barreled into, what ended up being a very nice career for himself.
I wonder if he ever remembers that. Was it Catch a Rising Storm?
Yeah.
Probably not. I was like a flea to him.
Yeah.
He's like, what are you saying? Do I remember the time I got a slight itch and
yeah. Remember that time years ago when you felt something and you shoot it away? Do you remember that? No, not really.
Machu Picchu.
Machu Picchu.
I stuck it in on Machu Picchu.
Here I was. I love that. Now I've totally lost my train of thought. I wanted to talk to about. I saw a video. That's what it was. I saw a video the other day of. I guess it was an MTV thing. You were doing remote control on location.
Right.
There's a Colin Quinn fail video or something where I think you're high-fiving and trying to take the mic from somebody. And you just missed the hand completely and walked where you needed to be, but you now didn't have a microphone. I wanted to cue it up, but I didn't have time today.
Hilarious.
But that was, are there many videos of you in the early days on? Because you really did something that was on VHS tape, if anything.
You know what? The weird thing about remote control is and there was another show, Club MTV, that you never see. And one of the reasons, this is how long ago it was, one of the reasons is that all the tapes were in a basement when there was a flood.
That's it, huh? There's
your
early career.
At 1775 Broadway, there was a basement flood and it destroyed tapes. And there were no copy. There was like
that was it.
Whatever they call it, the master copy.
Wow.
Isn't that
just
weird?
Gone.
Of all these MTV shows. Isn't that weird?
Because you'd think that would have turned up somewhere.
Well, it's still around. There's still old remote controls on, YouTube and shit. And people have copies.
But YouTube and it's
But the
VHS.
master copies are all fucking gone. Isn't that weird? Of Club MTV too.
I know our own Earl Douglas from NEW was a contestant who made it to the big bed and won.
Wow.
And he brought in the video. And it was an old, VHS with the tracking problems and the shit like that. But I remember watching that shit. And Adam Sandler was on there too.
Sandler was on, of course.
Sandler, and there you were recently in a movie with Sandler, the one with all you guys, you old fucks or something. What's it called? Old dudes.
Old cocksuckers.
Old cocksuckers. And now, of course, Amy Fisher. I want to hear about the movie.
Well,
you're in with Amy.
Well, first of all, I mean, I'm not saying she's as famous as Scarlett Johansson, but you don't have to call her Amy Fisher.
Did I say Amy Fisher?
Yeah. You really
Did I say Amy Fisher?
You really are.
Wow.
You really are a Long Island guy.
I am. I was really in love with her.
Amy Fisher?
Yeah, there was something about her that I was just like, that's the kind of whore I want.
That's interesting.
Amy Fisher. Amy Schumer. Amy.
That's interesting.
I was so into her. When they handcuffed her and she had the little shorts on and pulled her hair down in front of her head, she was the perfect
Lolita.
Long Island trash
Lolita.
I wind up marrying.
Yeah, she could have easily been in that strip club you were mentioning.
That strip club. And as a matter of fact, I do think my wife at the time kind of had that look, the straight hair, same like kind of figure looking thing. So I was so into that trashy thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Amy Schumer. Amy Schumer, we both love, of course.
And of course, Joey Buttafuoco co-starring in the movie. Yeah. Amy Schumer.
Love Amy Schumer, of course.
Yeah. So you're in her movie.
Yeah.
That's going to become, and that is it Judd Apatow?
Judd Apatow directed. Yes.
Jesus Christ, how was that?
What do you mean?
It's like he's a good director.
Yeah. I know him from when he was 19.
Really?
Look. He's from fucking, what do you call it? Syosset.
Another town being mentioned. We had to have mentioned probably 50 Long Island towns today.
You think so?
I think we're up to 50. Syosset, I did not know he was from Syosset.
Usually the places I miss when I tour on Long Island is, what is it called? Nissaquag? What's the name of that?
Nissaquag.
Fucking.
That's out east, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what's the other little? Oh shoot, I can't remember.
Now you got Nesconset? No, you
some
said
guys
Nesconset.
some guys got the over.
Got the over on the town mentioned.
So what did you say about the movie?
No, I didn't know he was from Syosset.
He's from Syosset. And Amy's from fucking the Irish place.
Is she
Rockville Center?
Rockville Center.
Yeah.
That's where Brewer's
She was
from,
the only
right?
she was the only Jewish kid in Rockville Center. She said they used to call her Amy Jumer.
Amy Jumer.
She does that in her act.
That's a good one.
I said they really did, didn't they? She goes, yeah.
They did. Oh, by
Amy Jumer, all those little Irish kids.
Little Irish kids probably hitting her.
Yeah.
The Irish
she
kids
said
were,
they threw pennies at her.
That's what you did to the Jewish kids in school on Long Island. Oh my God, you did. What a fucked up thing that was. The Jewish kids got pennies thrown at them in school. Now, the cops would show up, and the kid that did it would be arrested, charged with a hate crime, have to go to counseling. Their parents would probably be brought in for questioning.
Sure.
They might place him in child services. Or so. That was something you just did and never gave it another thought. Now it's literally a crime.
Yeah.
To do. But there was some severe
you can't
bullying.
find pennies these days. Yeah.
No, you can't even find a penny. People collect those things. There was severe bullying going on then. Now it's a lot of verbal bullying, internet bullying. They called me this, they called me that. But
those are the cases you hear about. There's still shit going on.
You think
People
there's a
still
lot of
getting their ass kicked.
duking
Of
it out
course.
going on, punches?
Can you imagine you're 11 years old and you're watching MMA on the weekends? You're watching Spike TV, you watch MMA.
You don't get a chance
You're
to
telling
try
me
it.
one of your friends is not going to get, the lonely kid's not going to get choked out on fucking Monday morning?
You fucking joke.
You know how many boomers there are running around right now choking people out?
I thought the violent part, unless, you're maybe in some inner city schools or something like that.
No, everywhere.
Suburban schools.
They're not just on.
Is there
Just the
violence
news
going on?
makes a big deal about the internet bullying, but
Internet
the other
bullying.
shit's going on.
And because you always hear about, little fucking Molly killed herself because they called her fat.
But once again, that's the exception, not the rule, and they make it like it's a rule,
You think?
But
they
I'm sure
still
they
just
abuse them.
Belton. This girl Jerry, her name was Jerry. She
G-R-I.
Yeah, G. Yeah, she kicked me in the nuts when I was like 12 years old.
Yeah.
And she was big. She had tits and everything. Like, she had a fucking shape at 12. She was a big girl, big fucking tits. And I think I said something about her tits.
Of course.
And she kicked me right in the fucking nuts. And I'll never forget that. It was my first sexual experience, I think.
I know.
It was very sexual.
First of all, you gotta admire a girl that's 12 back then. Some guys stop doing. Our first move is to kick him
in the nut. I guarantee you, Colin, it comes from the girl's father. Said, if any guys say anything, you kick them right in the fucking balls. That's a Long Island father of a 12-year-old girl with tits. You fucking, let me say, you're growing up. That's all I'm going to say about it. Some guy mentions any of you growing up, you kick him in the... You know it. Father.
Of course. Because the mother's like, look, you see what's happening. You got to have a talk with her. She doesn't know what he's going to... She thinks he's going to say, look, you have to be careful. Guys want one thing.
Right.
Instead, he goes right for the fucking... Any guy tries to say anything about your tits or whatever, or your body...
Jerry came home crying today because the boys were making fun of her,
Right.
All right, I'll talk to her after dinner. And then the whole fucking kick him right between the legs, kick him in the nut.
And
I was the fucking guy. I was the test case. I was the litmus test.
He goes, Daddy, it worked.
It worked.
Yeah, go. What did he say?
He said tits.
Kick him in the...
He went right down. He dropped like a sack of potatoes, Daddy.
That's my girl.
And I promise you one thing. There's another guy in our fucking teen years that got that kick.
Oh, the same kick.
It worked. She's going to do it one more time.
I never commented to her face. Now, I commented to my friends and stuff. Never to her face again about those giant tits.
Of course not.
Yeah.
Because, that's so fucking funny.
And then there was Pam, who had no tits, and of course inducted into the what was the itty bitty titty committee.
Right.
And she was very angry, but no kick to the balls. The father didn't have that talk, I guess.
I used to like this one girl in my school, Judy, and I really liked her. She was really cute, but she was, she was kind of titless. So one time the teacher was doing this thing. It was like it was a reverse place. He goes, this was a place he's talking about. It was like 13, but whatever. He's reading some dumb 70s thing. He's like,
Yeah.
So this was a culture that believed in giant breasts. He's trying to say it was this faraway place, but it was really about American culture. So of course I yell, of course, that's one country you don't have to worry about going to, Judy.
Oh, shit.
I was like the class wise ass, and then something else happened. And I go, another country you have to worry about, Judy. And I thought she really liked me,
Oh, no.
And she came up to me and handed me a letter. Like an hour later, I was like, wow, finally we're going to hook up.
Here it
She's
is.
Like, you're a fucking piece of shit. I've hated you all junior high school. You're fucking ugly. You're short. You're a fucking asshole. You think you're funny. You're fucking
Wow.
Just read me the right.
And you thought this was like, yeah, I'm breaking the ice with her. What the fuck? But again, it's sort of like what we were
She was a
talking about.
titless wonder, too. That's why I brought it up.
Titless wonder. It's like what we were talking about earlier, though, about the differences between face-to-face shit and the internet, and
Yes.
having to text. If you texted someone or tweeted, you tweet a girl.
Right.
Well, she's talking about her tits. I can see pictures of her on Facebook of this. She doesn't have
Yeah.
any. You don't have to worry about going there. Fuck you. You're an asshole. How little would that mean to you? It means nothing.
Right.
It was there. But she wrote a letter by hand.
She wrote
on paper, on parchment, and hand delivered it to you with the Queen's seal on it. And that is a lot more personal, and I think a lot more effective than anything you could do in an email or text or
It was
tweet.
fucking shocking. To this day, I'm shocked.
See, you remembered it.
Oh my God, yeah.
Yeah.
It's to this day. I could still see her handwriting and me reading like, holy shit, where's this going?
You had to make a point of. There are those other moments that are just sheer regret that you didn't do anything.
Right.
There was a girl. I was just in love with her. She was in another class. Aside from, I think we shared a math class. I don't even know what it was. But I had a what were they called? Diorama? It was like a shoebox, and you put a hole in it, and you built a little thing, and then people would look, and this girl, they would bring in her class in to look at everybody's little things, whatever they were, and she came by the table. Our whole relationship amounted to this. She stopped, she looked. She put it down. She looked at me and smiled.
Oh.
And and she wasn't moving right along. So I smiled back. And then she moved along, and that was it. But I remember that. Why would I remember such an insignificant little thing? That was our entire relationship. That I consider that a relationship, by the way. At that age.
I consider it a relationship.
That meant something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, one time I was in, when I was doing shows to the troops, I was in Kuwait. So we're going over to Iraq the next day, so we're at this restaurant. So, I never really thought about Arab girls.
I was on the highway of death, and then this girl sucked my cock.
No, it has to be more like high culture.
Right, high culture. High culture.
Say more like, Mesopotamia,
Yeah.
He was on a museum trip, archaeology.
Do you understand? It's the cradle of civilization. And there we were,
cradling her head.
The birthplace of all it is. And I jammed my dick in her ass. Her ass was the cradle of my balls.
But that could have it was a springboard.
Yes.
For him to go into other areas.
Would have worked.
But I had a vision for Dice. I still do. He can still do it. So anyway, I never thought about Arab girls either way. So this guy comes in, one of these Arab guys, he's got the 5 wives behind him, 6 wives, I think.
Oof.
The old one, the fat one, they're the older ones, and then the younger ones. And the youngest one is sitting there. They're totally veiled up. You can only see their eyes and a little bit of their face. I mean, totally, And they're like, the girl just looked up, and they could tell I was American for whatever reason. I was the only one in the restaurant. She just gave me a look for like 10 seconds.
Oh, shit.
No, maybe 5 seconds. And then just looked away. Just gave me a little smile. And I still remember it like that.
You remember that?
Yeah.
You think
I was
something?
like, those eyes.
Do you think she was looking like, oh man, just dreaming about what it would be like to
live in
go
the
back
United
to
States
America
with
with
one
Colin
guy
Quinn?
instead of 8 women?
Yeah.
No, but it was just like you say, like that one look. It's so funny, like these little relationships people have throughout their
Look,
lives. Everybody
there
has
it
them.
was. You remember it?
It's like Downtown Train, that song.
Yeah. but again, if you compare it to anything that happens on your phone, texts, tweets, Facebook, you could go through hundreds of what would be considered relationships, which could amount to nothing more than just some friendly texts to trading actual nude pictures of yourself. And they don't even mean as much as that like real butterflies in your stomach moment when you're face to face with a real person trying to close a deal.
Yeah.
You know, and how that will affect us in the future.
Much, there's no stakes.
No stakes, exactly. You're not going to be embarrassed. You're not going to fucking care. You're not going to have to think on your feet and think quickly to recover from something. You just, there's no LOL in real life, my friend.
Yeah.
You can't just LOL and take back what you just said or add a laugh to it like you weren't serious about it. You're kind of
it's like being a little girl at the track. She's enjoying the fucking horses. She doesn't have no money on it.
Yeah, she's looking at the fucking jockey colors.
Yeah.
What does she care?
Meanwhile, I got a fucking pot wheel with the fucking 11.
I got dude, I wanted to talk to you a little bit about OTB and horse racing because I was saying, Colin's coming over. We kind of met when you were on your way to an OTB and we were coming back from a lunch or something. And we hooked up and started talking. That was like from NEW days, and that's how we kind of knew Colin.
Yeah.
You were rushing off to place a bet.
Yes, I was.
And
my cousin gave me a hot tip that day.
Hot tip. So I was thinking about OTB, and I used to work next to an OTB for an air conditioning place. It was next to a bar that was in the strip mall of an OTB. So the bar had all the TVs with the races running, and it was the race bar.
Yeah.
So you'd go in there and place your bets, and the characters that would fucking be in there never win, but they always come so close. I had the 3 with the 1, 2, 5. Yeah. I had the 3 with the 6, 2, and the 3 just missed with the 6.
Yeah.
The stories, every fucking race, another loser.
Yeah. Oh my God, OTBs. That's what I still like. Long Island is the last place there's OTBs exist.
Bastion of.
But were there OTBs all over the country? I guess not. Huh?
I think they were called something else. I think they had off-track betting. What is that? 9? Wow, that went fast.
Yeah,
9 minutes. They have other forms of off-track betting, I think, but maybe not. I know New York.
Yeah.
How did they go broke too? You're a fucking legal bookie. How do you fuck that up?
I know.
Yeah.
It was one of those. It's one of those stories where if you could figure that out, you probably figure out a lot of the country's problems.
The country's problems. Everyone goofs on the post office like, oh, you got the government is in charge of delivering mail. Meanwhile, FedEx and UPS are making record profits and they can't deliver shit. But then you look at something like OTB, even worse. It's a fucking government-run bookie.
I know.
And they lost money.
They stole the mafia's idea. And they stole the mafia's numbers, too. The numbers idea.
Right, the numbers idea is Lotto. Yeah.
They stole both those ideas from the mob, and then they can't fucking make a profit.
Can't make it work.
Although Lotto makes a lot of money, I'm sure.
Lotto makes money, but again, look what it is. A lot of people pour money in. There's no real overhead.
No,
I think.
No, you're right.
But OTB seems like something. There's a fuckload of people betting on horses. Most of them are losing. How do you fucking lose money?
I don't know.
Can't lose.
But I also can't lose. But I also feel like the whole culture of the track is gone too.
Yes, that was another.
I don't know why. I feel like it's because people came from countries like Ireland where they were totally into horses, and to this day Jamaicans still love the track, still love OTB.
Yeah,
because they're from places where you grow up around horses, you start to love horses. So it's a natural progression.
I think it became also some kind of an ASPCA issue, and
really,
and yeah, I think
tracks all over the country.
But I think a lot of younger people aren't taking up where the older people would go to the track
because they're right.
It's kind of cruel. The horses should run free on the plains of fucking Detroit.
Yeah.
So I don't think you're getting as many of them. Young people aren't as involved in that. Oh, wait, look at this. Oh, Carl.
What?
Have you ever had a steak cooked on the man grate?
No, I have not.
It's fantastic. 100% made in America. Cast iron grill. Now you say, wait, my barbecue has a grill already. Those little wires, you know, the little coat hanger wires that you put your steak on, and the grease drips through and the flames come up and it burns.
Yeah.
What are you doing? These lay right on your grill. They're cast iron. And they get hot and they're heavy and they put those thick grill marks on your steak like a steakhouse.
Yeah.
That's what you want. And then the grease drips through, but you don't get that flare up. The fire can't really get through there.
Right.
They designed this with computers or something. I don't know. It's like the future. You go to mangrate.com. You put CUMIA, CUMIA, there in your little coupon thing, and you'll get $19.99 deal on your Mangrate. Be the hit of your backyard grill, my friends. We use this. I've never, in the 20 years of doing radio, had a reaction to people that have bought a sponsored item and loved it so much. They're sending me pictures of their steaks, for the love of Christ. I'm not kidding. The Mangrate, under $20. Just be the hit of your backyard. Go to mangrate.com and put CUMIA, C-U-M-I-A, and get your great deal for the Mangrate steakhouse steaks. No more dry meat. Who likes dry meat? Of course, you know what? How about, this is almost like a earth, wind, and fire thing. Well, this is water. Well, it could be earth, your lawn. All right, we did fire.
It's elemental.
It's elemental. We did fire with the Mangrate. How about this? You know, you got your sprinklers, you got your in-the-ground sprinkler system?
Sure.
You want to control that from anywhere in the world. You're saying, why? What if you're somewhere across the globe and you realize, I didn't turn my sprinklers on? I'm going to come back. My lawn's going to be dead. My neighbors are going to hate me.
Scorched earth.
Fire hazards.
Come back to scorched
earth.
a
scorched earth policy.
Or, like you say, those wildfires in California and stuff.
Very dangerous. Well, no more. No more. Do you know you could use mobilesprinklertimer.com and use your phone to turn on and off your sprinklers? Just enter code CUMIA. That's me again. No matter where you are in the world, you got the in-the-ground sprinklers. It picks up your Wi-Fi signal. It allows you to access your timer from the cloud. That mysterious thing in the air. This allows you to control your sprinklers from anywhere in the world, in the whole world. And unlike other home automation Wi-Fi technologies on the market, with mobilesprinklertimer.com, no monthly fees. They're not going to bill you every month. Nope. You're good to go. Free updates and consumer support always available. Go to mobilesprinklertimer.com. Enter CUMIA, C-U-M-I-A. And you want to set up your phone as a remote controller timer? You could do that. Download the app. It's a measly $4. What is that? Nothing to the cost of reseeding your lawn. If it dies because you're in Guam, that means you can sit on the couch, not have to go downstairs or the garage, press play, and there goes your sprinklers. They're sprinkling and satisfying your lawn. Mobilesprinklertimer.com, code word CUMIA. Isn't that great? I got sponsors, Carl.
I did a book report on Guam in 5th grade.
Did you? How'd that work out?
I don't remember.
Did you do well, or was it really?
I think the teacher was just like, oh my God, I don't want to read this boring thing on Guam. I'll just give him a good mark.
Was it ethnically and racially sensitive?
Well, my schools were very mixed, but I mean, Guam at that time, I think it was more like it's hard to describe. They weren't South Sea people. They were, and then it was a military base. For the United States. It was kind of a fascinating place, right back when you're in 5th grade, when
Very interesting learning about new places back then as a kid. But now I think it's all just about ethnic diversity and being nice to people. Like a book report can't be on somewhere like Guam, because who cares? It doesn't really show that we need to be diverse and nice to our neighbors and kind.
Yes, no, I think there has to be a narrative in all things at all times.
It's an indoctrination, is what I say. It's an indoctrination.
But it's not even, it's beyond a conscious indoctrination. It's almost like a collective unconscious indoctrination.
Ooh. Yes, I've noticed that. A lot of these professors, their thinking is right. They know they're doing the right thing by teaching these policies and ideologies of people.
And people get this feeling in their stomach like when you say something that's not on
Right,
point.
it's not on point.
Really, why would you want to say that? It's almost a distasteful thing, yes?
And you see the youth of America just regurgitating the shit they're learning there without actual real world experience or knowledge. And
what are they supposed to do?
Little Hitler youth. And
what are they supposed to do?
They're supposed to repeat what they hear and hopefully learn for the better as they get older. Oh boy, I'd like to talk about that for another 3 hours. But Carl, what a great time I've had.
Thanks, Anthony. Me too.
I can't thank you enough for coming down here. You give some legitimacy to my basement. And the best to you and your book. You got a book that you're writing. I love this.
The book, the show,
a new show.
I'll be back when I'm.
Colin's constantly writing and delivering new things to the people. I love it. Kyle, thank you so much.
Thanks, Anthony.
And we'll see you next time. Everybody, I love you. Fade to Anthony CUMIA, turn the mics off, and go fuck your mother.